KMC administration, head coach Billy Graff, his assistant coaches, all the student athletes would like to thank you for attending tonight's contest and for supporting high school athletics. We'd like to give a special salute to all the alumni of KMC and to the fans of both schools tonight. At this time, we request that you please stand and remove your hats as we together give reverence and honor to God and country with our opening prayer and national anthem. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Strong and faithful God, as we come together for this contest, we ask you to bless these athletes, keep them safe from injury and harm, instill in them respect for each other, and reward them for their perseverance. Lead us all to the rewards of your kingdom, where you live and reign forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Please remain standing for the national anthem, played tonight by our KMC band under the direction of Michelle Carmel.
Hello and welcome to Kapaun Mt, Carmel, the home of your Lady Crusaders. We're going to start off here with the starting lineups.
Looks for Northwest, we've got starting number 21, Aaliyah Richard.
And for Kapaun Mt, Carmel, the sophomore guard, Tilly Jones, number 2, starting.
Up next for the Grizzlies, we got number 23, Nascent Robinson.
And next up, start of the team, number 5, Sophia Germino, the junior, starting KMC.
Up next for the Grizzlies, number 30, Audria Wilson.
And next up for Kapaun Mt, Carmel is the senior, number 15, Emma Bezdek.
Number 34 for the Grizzlies, Cameron Stubbs.
And sophomore forward, number 12, Lizzie Romer, be starting at the forward position.
Rounding off the starting 5 for the Northwest Grizzlies, number 42, Taylor Kilpatrick.
And rounding out the lineup for your Lady Crusaders will be number 32, senior Kate Toma. And of course, the Lady Crusaders come into this matchup after the win last week, which puts them at 2-6 on the season. Not exactly where you want to be, but there's still time to, swing around the season a little bit and look good coming into the playoffs.
Absolutely. Records at this point in the season are not all that indicative of what a team is actually doing. They could be working on some stuff. They could be perfecting some stuff as we go along. I mean, you really just want to be good at the end of the year. And it looks like they're getting better every game. If you ask Coach Graff, they're just getting better every single game, and hopefully they can get better tonight too.
And, I mean, that's very true for these Lady Crusaders. Is the late addition of Kate Toma has really had a big impact on his team as she joined the team with the last game prior to Christmas break. And since then, the Crusaders have been competitive in every single game, and even taking a win last week. So hopefully they can get that or keep that streak going here tonight as Lizzie Romer will win the tip, and Sophia Jamil will bring it up for the Away Crusaders for their first possession.
Looks like Northwest is going to start in a man-to-man. A lot of help defense. It looks like they're just trying to stop as many drives as they possibly can.
And Lizzie Romer's going to chuck one up from the corner, and that'll be no good. Rebound goes to Kate Toma, however. And now in trouble, she gets it out to Tilly Jones. Now Tilly Jones right through. That is good, as Jones hits her first shot at night and gives the Crusaders a 3-0 lead out of the gate.
Well, just like you were talking about, you had a 6-foot athletic girl in there who can go get a rebound and then has the wherewithal to kick it out for a wide open three. That's pretty good offense right there.
And it's good defense there from Northwest, as Emma Bezek's going to be forced out of bounds by what looks to be Robinson. And I'll be heading their way. And we'll get to see Northwest offense for the first time here tonight. Now all the way inside, that's Kilpatrick. It looks like Sophia Jamil is going to get tied up there for the jump ball. Possession area is going to favor Northwest, so it'll stay under their own basket, excuse me.
Boy, right off the bat, it looks like Kapaun's really concerned about the post players for Northwest. They did a lot of guards trapping down on that, trying to help out their post defenders.
I mean, Kilpatrick has been a presence so far for the Lady Grizzlies, and he's looking to be a threat in this one. And there's a turnover there. As what looks to be Richard going to lose the ball there, and Emma Bezek there to pick it up. And now Jamino gets it back up to the top of the key, and that's Tilly Jones. Tilly Jones tries to welcome three once again. That'll be no good. Rebound ends up in the hands of Lizzie Romer before going through the legs. The Northwest defender, and then eventually going to be a jump ball between Emma Bezdek and it looks to be Wilson of Northwest.
Really good job going in offensive rebounding there. Loose ball didn't quite come up with it, but I mean that defensive pressure on the back end side of that last play really caused us to have the ball back here again. So it's all those little plays that add up in the end.
And now number 24 on your screen will be coming in favor of Kilpatrick, and number 12, of course, being Zion Williams. And now Bezdek able to get inside to Toma, or Kate Toma going to miss that shot, and then Jamino is going to miss the putback. And so even after the second chance, the Lady Crusaders are going to give it back to the Grizzlies. Now the Grizzlies coming up the court, and drive is going to go nowhere. Kate Toma on that steal, and Toma going to lose it herself. And that steal is going to be credited to the St. Robinson, and Robinson drives, and she puts it away. That'll be good for the Lady Grizzlies' first points of the game.
Boy, game of a lot of turnovers already. We're in 4 possessions for each team. We've got 5 turnovers total already. Got to find a way to hang on to the ball a little bit on both ends.
And something I can't help but notice with this Northwest defense is that they're not protecting the interior as much as we've seen other teams. They're a lot more concerned with the perimeter shots, as we've already seen Tilly Jones make one of those. And now Toma thinks about taking a 3, but then chucks it across the court to Romer.
That is the 4th offensive rebound for the Crusaders already. That's a nice drive by Bezdek, scores at the rim.
And Bezdek gets her first way up, and that extends the Crusader lead to 3 once again. And now Romer with the steal. Romer puts up a shot. That'll be blocked with a foul. And Romer will head to the line for 2. That will be Robinson's first personal of the evening.
Kapaun showing a little full court pressure there. Maybe took Northwest off guard a little bit. But yeah, you show different looks and you kind of surprise a team like that. But way to go to the rim hard and get a couple free throws out of it.
And free throws have been something that has been crucial for the Lady Crusaders. As you know, there's been close games where they haven't shot as well from the free throw line, and that's ended up costing the game as Romer converts on both of those, so she's starting off strong. And now Romer with another steal. And as Jamino takes it back up to the top, as I was saying, it's going to be crucial for the Lady Crusaders to really convert, get to the rim, draw those fouls, and then, of course, convert at the free throw line.
Absolutely. You always kind of want to work your way inside out. You're able to score in the post, and all of a sudden the defense has to worry about you down there a little bit more. And once the ball goes in, they're a little bit more concerned about it in the post. They're going to sag in. They're going to try and help out, and that's going to open up the outside a lot more for you. So.
And there you see Kate Toma with that block. She'll send that one out of bounds, so Northwest will have a chance under their own basket as it looks to be Waday and Stubbs heading off the court now in favor of Kilpatrick and Richard. And now Richard puts up a layup. That'll be no good. And off the hands of Toma. No, excuse me. It'll be rolled off the hands of Kilpatrick, and it'll be heading KMC's direction.
That's a lucky one. I think that might have gone off Kate. Not 100%, but you'll take those.
I mean, you got to give whatever the ref gives you. And now Romer going to try to work from 3. That'll be no good. Rebound goes to Kilpatrick.
Well, Northwest showing a little defensive look, that different change there, 2-3 zone, maybe trying to stop some of the layups that are going on. That's gonna open up some outside shots for the Crusaders.
Now Kilpatrick will try to look on the inside. That shot will once again be blocked by Toma. And now Romer gets the rebound and gets up court to Sophia Jamino. Jamino in trouble off the double team, gets it to Kate Toma. Now Kate Toma puts up a 3. That'll be off the backboard, no good. Rebound goes to Northwest. That is Zion Williams. And after some rough defense from the Crusaders, a foul will be called. Now be called on Tilly Jones, her first personal, team foul number 1. And now Lizzie Romer going to head off the court now in favor of Maddie Spears. And something we saw a lot more at the beginning of the season, but we're still seeing now, is the freshmen are getting a lot more playing time than what you would expect from a varsity team.
Well, you know, part of the issue throughout the season is you want to win as many games as possible, but you also want to get ready for the younger kids to be ready to go for next year as well. So the more exposure they get, the more put into the fire they can get now, the better they'll be for it next year. So
as Tilly Jones puts them on, that'll be no good. And then here comes Northwest. And off the face of Kate Tillman out of bounds. That'll stay at Northwest's end.
Boy, 3 straight possessions for the Capon girls with 3-pointers. They need to keep finding a way to get to the paint as much as they possibly can to open up some of those, make those outside shots a little easier in the end.
And now Northwest, Capon also changing up the defensive look a little bit, staying home more, trying to protect that interior. As Northwest can't find any hole, as now Myra Nichols playing some tough defense on Robinson. And that's one thing I love about Nichols is while we haven't seen too much of the offensive production, defensive production has always been there. She's a great hustle defender and is capable of guarding her woman
absolutely
at all ends of the court.
I mean, sometimes when you put in a player like that who's just got a lot of energy and is just kind of going 100 miles an hour all the time, I mean, that can speed up an offense. That can cause some passes that aren't always going to be there to not be as good. So anything you can do to change the momentum of a game and the tempo of a game is going to cause the offense a little bit of issue.
As Kilpatrick will split her free throws, that cuts the Capon lead to just 2. With just under 3 minutes left to go in the first. Sophia Jamil trying to set up the offense a little bit here.
I'd love to see the Crusaders try and get somebody in the high post against this zone a little bit.
And now after a deflected pass, Bezdek gets that one back. And now Maddie Spears in trouble in the corner. Gets it back to Jamino. Jamino picks up her dribble, finds Nichols. And the Crusaders can't find a way to get inside. And
it's like Graf called a timeout there.
I can't blame him. The Lady Grizzlies were doing a great job of staying home and not letting any interior penetration happen. And so now Graf gets a chance to talk with his players. That'll be his first timeout. He'll have 4 remaining.
They've got to find a way to penetrate inside the perimeter of that outside defense. They've got to find a way to get the ball to the high post, either through a drive, through a pass, to have that defense collapse, because right now they're just letting loose and pressuring as much as they can on the perimeter. And if you're just passing the ball around the perimeter, you're not going to get any penetration there.
And I think we've kind of seen the Crusaders rely on that a little bit this season. As, they've been doing swing pass, and eventually typically you'll have the defense collapse to one side and you have an open shooter, but that's just not happening here with Northwest.
Right. Well, we'll see what kind of adjustments they make. And
I mean, they're always good ones when they're coming from Coach Raff.
Oh, there you go.
So
it looks like the defense went back to man-to-man, or this is a 1-3-1. I can't really tell, but I think it's a man-to-man. So that's always great after a timeout. If you can get an offense to, hey, nice shot by Emma Bezdek.
Emma Bezdek hits that 3-pointer. What were you going to say there?
Well, I mean, anytime you have a defensive possession where you're causing an offense a lot of problems, you have to call a timeout to kind of fix that. You want to change defenses at that point because they're plotting against what defense you were running, not what you're changing into. So,
and right after ending the game, Aliyah Blanchard going to put up a shot. That'll be no good.
She stepped on the line. Looks like Maddie Spears got the rebound there, but may have stepped on the out-of-bounds line as she was coming down with it.
Now give Northwest yet another chance to cut that lead. Down by 5. Looking around, Richard puts a shot. That'll be no good. Now hitting it away is Maddie Spears. And you see that speed once again as she drives, tries to get it to Maddie Spears. Excuse me, that is not Spears. That was Nichols. My apologies. You see the speed there on Nichols. She finds Maddie Spears, but a foul's going to be called. That will be on Nascent Robinson, her second. Team foul number 2.
That is very early to get your second foul. She's probably going to have to. It doesn't look like they're subbing for her, though, so they're going to run with her as far as they can here.
And I mean, when 4 out of the 5 points you scored so far in the game, are coming from her, I don't really blame them for keeping her in.
Absolutely.
And now Richard gets an inbound pass to Lede. Now Crusaders coming back with the press.
Capon running that zone press again. Looks like they.
Great deflection there by Maddie Spears. That ends up in a turnover. And Bezek there able to get that ball.
See if they can get something going offensively here.
As we're just over 1 minute left in the first quarter. Crusaders up by 5. Looking to expand that lead. Now Romer finds Jamino. Jamino inside pass to Bezdek. Bezdek kicks back out to Spears. Now back to Jamino. Jamino drives, puts up a layup. That'll be no good.
Great take by Sophie there. Just didn't get the bounce that she wanted to at the end, but nice take otherwise. They've got to find more of that. They've got to find ways to get into the rim.
Great job there by Nichols to pick the pocket of that Northwest guard, but that's going to end up out of bounds. Now Richard will set up the offense for the Grizzlies. And something we don't see too typically from Sophia Jamino, picking up her man from half court. It ends up in a missed shot from Northwest. And now with under 40 seconds, Jamino puts up a shot. That'll be good. I mean, you can't really...
The old slow motion runner. I love it. Fantastic, Sophie.
And you can't really have a 2-for-1 situation in high school without the shot clock. But I mean, with 40 seconds left on the clock, that's almost the perfect amount of time to get the ball back, and that's just what the Lady Crusaders do. And Sophia Jamino with the steal gets it to Romer.
Decision.
Romer able to lose her man and drive inside and draw the foul. Romer 2 for 2 from the line so far. She'll shoot 2 more.
I'm sure these Northwest girls have a scouting report, and they know that Lizzie's a shooter. Man, that was a great job of just freezing her defender there enough where the defender thought she was going to go for a 3, but then go right past her and go to the line for 2 free throws.
And Kate Toma going to check in here for Sophia Jamino, in the final seconds of the first quarter. Maybe a little bit more of a defensive presence on the inside, trying to prevent that last second basket. And now Romer will convert on her second.
Back in that zone press.
Now Richard gets it up the court. That'll be intercepted by Emma Bezdek. Emma Bezdek gets up to Nichols. Nichols inside to Spears. Spears puts up a shot after losing it. That'll be no good. Rebound goes to Toma, but she'll lose it out of bounds. But it looks like the refs are going to say it's Kapaun ball. And Myra Nichols will inbound.
I think that's one of those things where it was definitely off Kate, but there was probably a little bit of contact there. The refs sometimes will just make that call for the close team, so that can save some fouls there.
And Toma puts up the last second shot. That'll be no good. Rebound goes to Romer, and that will end the first. Score going to be 13-5. Crusaders up by 8 points. And if you're Billy Graff, you can't ask for much better of a first quarter than that. I mean, you might have wanted to see a little bit more offense, but defensively and overall, the Lady Crusaders having a great first quarter.
Absolutely. To go in the second quarter up 13-5, you held it. I mean, that means your defense is playing well. You've held a team to 5 points in a quarter. That's fantastic. I imagine he wants to make a couple changes offensively. I think a little bit right now we're struggling. We're settling for threes. I mean, we've shot 8 threes already. We're 2 for 8. We can maybe. I think their driving lanes are available, and those will come. The 3-pointers will attempts will come later. But I think he needs to keep forcing those girls to keep going to the paint as much as possible.
And we've kind of seen that there from Sophia Gemino and Wizzy Romer in particular. Of course, you mentioned that great play there by Romer at the end of the first quarter. As you said, they have the scouting report on Romer. They know that she is a shooter. So when she has that ball in the corner, they're expecting her to shoot a three. A nice little pump fake and then a sidestep leaves her with an open lane to the basket.
Absolutely. No, I think that, the one thing I've been impressed with, they've got some bunch of easy points off the press, off that zone press. The problem is you've got to score to get in that press. So the more times they score, the more opportunities they're going to get chances to score again. But they just got to capitalize on those opportunities.
And the Lady Crusaders going to stick with the same lineup. And it looks like Northwest is going to stick with the same lineup with the exception of Audra Wilson coming back in. And travel going to be called on Richard. That'll head the other way. Yet another turnover for the Northwest Grizzlies. Something they're going to have to look to contain. Or limit, excuse me.
That is their 9th turnover so far. They've got to find a way to cut down on those turnovers. Looks like they're back in that 2-3 zone, trying to guard the paint and cover the paint as much. But, boy, they really extended out quite a bit, though. That's a nice pass.
And now Toma gets it back out to Spears. Spears gets it to Gemino. Now Gemino drives, takes a little jump shot, and that'll be good from just inside the free throw line. And Gemino with her second basket.
Boy, and that gives an opportunity to set up the press, and Sophie grabs one and goes right back to the rim.
That'll be no good, however, and then going to be heading the other way is now Robinson. Heads the other way, puts up a floater. That'll be good after taking a few trips around the rim.
Nice little Euro step there to get to the rim.
And we saw it already on that last possession, but the Crusaders really trying to penetrate the basket. And we saw Toma try to get there, and then eventually Sophia Gemino came in with that layup.
Yeah, well, they've got Kate Tillman in the high post right there. I think that's open for them if they want to use it.
And Gemino finds Romer in the corner. Romer for three. That'll be no good. Rebound goes to Nichols. Nichols with some crafty rebounding there. Gets the offensive rebound.
Boy, that makes offensive rebound number 6. That's 6 extra possessions for the Crusaders. It's hard to compete against that.
When you're looking at it from the off perspective, that's 6 potential turnovers that the Northwest Grizzlies are losing. And, combine that with the 9 turnovers they have, that's a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely. They've got to fix a couple things.
As Nichols thinks about shooting the three, then drives, finds Romer in the corner once again. Romer drives, and that'll be good. Romer able to come in from that corner position and drive in for the layup. As Romer has her first field goal of the evening. The other 3 points she has have come from the free throw line. And Kilpatrick with the offensive rebound puts up a shot. That'll be no good. And Kilpatrick's shot going to be rebounded by Kate Toma. Now Kate Toma going to take it up for herself and drives before kicking it back out to Spears. Now Gemino sizing up the defense a little bit. Kicks it to Nichols. Nichols to Romer.
The activity in this zone is really, really slowed. They're not pressuring nearly as much on the outside.
And now Spears. And I don't want to sound too critical, but it looks like that back and forth may have tired both teams out a little bit here, as we're not seeing as much movement as we've seen on previous drives.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be a missed shot from Kate Toma. Now Northwest looking to slow it down a little bit. Now Richard finds what looks to be Wilson. Now Wilson gets it inside to Kilpatrick, and after some good defense there by Wizzy Romer, the block shot ends up in the hands of Sophia Gemino, and Sophia Gemino will go coast to coast for the easy breakaway layup. Gemino with 6 points, leads her team.
That's just speed right there. That's just pure speed.
And great job there by Romer. Great defense always turns into great offense.
Yeah, at that point, you like to see what Northwest is doing. Northwest is trying to get the ball into the post as much as possible. But if the Capon girls have got 2 girls collapsing on that every time, it's not always open. It's best to just kick that out. I think there's maybe a little frustration. That should have been kicked out and looked to get another shot. But we're figuring some stuff out here as we go. So
as now KMC on the brink of hitting that 20-point mark, and typically, as we enter halftime, we see them around that 20 to 25-point range. So offensively, they really figured some things out, as you were saying, and they're looking to have a high-scoring night here.
Right. Well, I think when the pressure drops off, that zone is kind of it's easy to get a little ball, like watching the ball in a zone, because you're not guarding a specific man. You can get a little, the lazy's not the word I'm thinking of, but that's close to what it is, and that allows for gaps and penetration to get easier looks. But I think Northwest needs to pick up the defensive pressure just a little bit, I think, and that's going to help them out quite a bit.
Now coming onto the court for KMC, Carson Sloan makes her first appearance, and Tilly Jones coming back on the court. Tilly Jones going 1 for 3 from the three-point line in the first quarter. Let's see what she can do now. As now Richard takes it up, gets it up the court to Williams, and now Williams will lose it, trying to find Stubbs. And now Kate Tome will be there for the steal.
Boy, you know they broke that press really well. I don't think there was a dribble before it got to the paint on the other side. They just kind of fumbled it at the end, but that was a great job breaking the press there.
Now offensively, it looks like Sophia Jamino looking to slow it down a little bit, resets the offense. And now Romer drives, kicks it back out to Jamino. Jamino tries to look from 3. That'll be no good, and that'll be out of bounds off the rim. But prior to going out of bounds, it looks like it might have touched the hands of Richard. And that'll be Crusader basketball, and it looks like Robinson going to be coming off the court now from Northwest in favor of Kilpatrick. As now Romer gets it into Tilly Jones. Jones finds Sloan. And now Sloan gets it to the corner. That's Sophia Jamino. Jamino gets it to Romer. Romer puts one up from 3. That'll be good. And on that look, I mean, Northwest kind of gave Lizzie Romer a little bit too much time. As we've talked about, they know that she's a shooter, so when you give her that time to square up her feet, I mean, that's almost a death sentence. You
know, that looked a little unorganized to me. It looked like they had 4 girls on the bottom, but they had 1 girl on the top trying to cover everybody. I think they were just a little unorganized there.
There's a little bit of a lineup reset for Northwest. Mackenzie Edwards there, number 1 on your screen, running the point. Number 2, Tayshawn Waday, running the shooting guard. It looks like they still have Richard in at that small forward position. And number 24, Zion Williams in at the power forward. And, of course, Kilpatrick there rounding out the lineup at center. Sophia Fury comes on now for KMC in favor of Sophia Jamino.
Good rebound by Lizzie Romer there.
And after splitting her free throws, Romer tries to find Jones, but that'll be off the feet of Jones and out of bounds.
Simon Bezdek comes back in for the Crusaders, and number 23, Nascent Robinson, back in for the Grizzlies, as Kapaun shows a little bit more of that full court pressure. Looking to speed you up in that, have you make a bad decision.
And we're really seeing both teams pick up their men right at that half-court line, which is showing to really be tiresome for both sides. There's another turnover there, this time by the Lady Crusaders. And now Robinson going to be called for the travel. Great defense there by Romer. And the Grizzlies hand it right back.
Boy, with 3:10 remaining, you really want to have some solid possessions to go into halftime. Looks like Northwest has got their zone figured out a little bit here.
There's now Bezdek. Tries to drive but can't find anything. And now Fury gives back to Bezdek. And as we talked about at the first quarter break, there really has been a whole lot of driving for the Lady Crusaders in this quarter, as Lizzie Romer misses a 3, and a deep one at that. Rebound ends up in the hands of Richard. Now Richard heads the other way, spins out of her defender, and that find is Waday in the corner.
Boy, that was a really good find by Richards there. Looking opposite, looking cross court, and hitting a shooter in rhythm.
Now Tilly Jones tries to get a full court pass inside to Emma Bezdek. As that heads out of bounds, it looks like Sophia Jamino and Myron Nichols going to come back on for the Lady Crusaders as Carson Sloan and Lizzie Romer head off. And, even when you give up a big play like that, 3, you don't want to get too sloppy with the ball and cause a turnover, as we saw with that full-court pass heading out of bounds.
Foul call on Emma Bezdek there. You love the hustle there, but maybe a little too aggressive on that one. But not in the bonus yet, so it's really not. It's not that big. It's not that big of a bad thing for the Crusaders there. They get to reset up their defense and go again.
And usually something we see in Lady Crusader games so far this season is a lot of fouls have been called, but that's just not the case here tonight, as we are nearing the end of the first half with 2 minutes remaining and only 7 fouls called.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you've got one team playing a zone, there's just less opportunities for fouls against the zone. So.
And now Jamino will miss the coast-to-coast layup, and foul going to be called after Bezdek tries to hit that putback. We'll see Bezdek at the line for the first time here tonight. Of course, Lizzie Romer, the only other Lady Crusader to go to the line, and she shot 3 of 4. So let's see if Emma Bezdek can keep that percentage up.
Yeah. That's been some of the Crusaders' best offense, is just getting a rebound and runouts. If you have a guard who can get a rebound, they should just go just like they're doing right now. So nice free throw there by Emma.
And that pushes the Crusader lead now to 12. And, if you're Coach Graff and the rest of the Lady Crusaders, you got to be thinking that, with the 12-point lead heading into half, that's almost an ideal position. I think you start thinking more defensively here to end the half, trying to prevent the Grizzlies from scoring as much as possible, maybe drawing out your offensive possessions a little bit more. As a 3 from Robinson finds the backboard, nothing else. And Kilpatrick's there on the rebound, and she puts that back in for 2.
Boy, those long shots will cause long rebounds. You really gotta go make contact and box out far away from the rim. That's just a taller girl getting a rebound over a shorter girl.
And Maddie Spears coming in now for Tilly Jones, and Tilly Jones tried to find Sophia Fury there on that pass, but that once again heads out of bounds. So the Grizzlies will once again have another chance to cut into the Crusader lead. And now intercepted pass by Fury. Ends up in the hands of Maddie Spears. Spears gets it back to Bezdek. Bezdek now to Fury. Fury back to Bezdek. Now Sophia Germino has it. She drives, splits through the defenders and can't knock down the layup, but Fury saves it. And now a mid-range from Emma Bezdek is no good. Now some chaos. The Grizzlies end up with it. That's Leday on that rebound. Gets up court to Robinson. Robinson finds what looks to be Williams on the inside. Williams takes that block shot, but she'll be fouled, and she'll head to the line for 2.
Boy, that was a great catch by Williams there. She just kind of slowed the ball down with one hand and waited until she gathered herself to go back and get it. Nice athleticism by her right there. Boy, one of the best ways, they're 2 for 4 from the free throw line, but, if I'm Northwest, I'm trying to get to the free throw line as many times as humanly possible.
I'm right there with you. We talked about how the Lady Crusaders have done a great job in prior games and here tonight, but especially in prior games, they've done a great job, driving to the rim, drawing those fouls as much as possible, and that's what's kept them in a lot of these close games. So we'd like to see Grizzlies try to do that here tonight, as Williams goes 0 for 2 from the free throw line, except Kilpatrick there on the rebound, but her putback would be no good as well. Now racing up the court, that's Sophia Germino. Sophia Germino drives, and after some contact will be fouled. And the Northwest coaching staff not happy about that one. But regardless, Sophia Germino will head to the line for 2. And now Germino knocks out at first. There's now some substitutions for both sides. Kilpatrick will head off in favor of Cameron Stubbs. And Lizzie Romer and Kate Tomo also return for KMC as Sophia Fury and Maddie Spears head off. And Germino able to go 2 for 2 on this trip.
Back with the press.
And Germino with the interception puts up that way up, and that'll be good. Now Leday has her pass deflected out of bounds by Lizzie Romer. And I tell you what, if I'm Coach Graff, I have to be tremendously happy with this zone press.
Yeah, it's really caused a lot of turnovers, giving them really easy looks after that. I mean, that's what that press is designed to do. You throw it to the corner and you're looking to pick off that reversal pass. Oh, Myra Nichols with a pick right there and goes up for the layup.
Great job picking the pocket there. And she gets her first basket of the night. Now Northwest trying to get one more basket in as 10 seconds remain in the first half. Now Robinson kicked it to Richard. Richard puts up a three. That'll be no good. Ends up in the hands of Sophia Gemino. And with 3 seconds left, Sophia Gemino puts one up from half court. That'll be no good. And with that, the halftime score is going to be 29-13. Crusaders up by 16. And join us back in about 20 minutes as we will step aside here for the KMC Promise performance, Welcome back to the second half of action. This will be Northwest varsity girls playing the KMC varsity girls. Caping up by 16 entering the second half. And Caping can start off with the ball here.
Looks like Northwest is starting with the zone. Looks like they're going to start trapping. Boy, they had probably a little pressure there and forced a bad pass from Sophia Jamino.
And Zion Williams going to miss her shot. Now Richard going to get that rebound, gets it inside to Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick puts a fadeaway into the basket. And Northwest is coming out swinging.
Looks like Northwest has made some adjustments at halftime. They're going to apply a little bit more pressure. They're back into almost a man-to-man. It almost looks like a hybrid almost.
Yeah, very loose man.
This almost feels like a diamond and one on Lizzie is what it feels like.
And now Tilly Jones going to get the Romer rebound and put that in for 2. Her second basket. He gets her 5.
What a great pass.
Great pass by Robinson. Is going to head off the hands of Kilpatrick, now out of bounds. That'll give the Crusaders back the ball. And you can almost see there is Robinson was pretty physically upset.
Well, she made a really great pass. It was maybe a little too hot to handle, or maybe Kilpatrick wasn't quite ready for it. But it's a great way of looking opposite. You always want to look opposite when you drive the ball, and then she found somebody wide open, just wasn't quite ready for it.
And now Romer gets the pass over to Bezdek. Now Bezdek back to Jones. Jones gets it to Kate Toma. Kate Toma will try to look from the mid-range. That'll be no good. Rebounded by Richards. And Jamino trying to draw the charge there. Won't get the call. And a three-pointer from Wilson going to be off the mark. And after some tussling from Kate Toma and Kilpatrick, jump ball is going to be called.
Kate's really got to do a little bit better job of keeping the big post player out of the lane a little bit. That's just too deep. I mean, that's trouble to try and get that rebound anytime that's available.
And Bezdek going to get that rebound, gets up the court to Jamino. And Jamino with the no-look pass to Romer on the wing. That'll be no good, but Bezdek there on the rebound to put that one back.
Another offensive rebound. That's really how the girls are making their money tonight.
And Zion Williams attempts to save the ball, but it looks like that's actually going to go off the hands of Sophia Jamino.
Good effort by two capable players to go after that ball. It's a good thing that nobody was hurt there. That could have been really bad, but looks like everybody's okay.
Looks like Waday will inbound as Capon comes with the press. And Jamino able to get the steal Capon was looking for, and Jamino with the left hand layup. That'll be no good. Rebound goes to Richard, and Richard can get the ball to go off of Romer's foot and out of bounds. And Capon really just relentless with his press as Myra Nichols will now come on in favor of Sophia Jamino. And something we've seen a lot from Coach Graff this season is, the constant subbing. We haven't seen it so much here tonight. As Bezdek gets yet another interception, can't get the layup to go, but she will be fouled on her way to the basket and head to the line for 2.
Great anticipation by Emma there to see where the ball handler is looking and to anticipate that pass coming across opposite, and way to really jump on the ball there.
And now Bezdek looking to push the Capon lead beyond 18, trying to get that 20-point mark. Sinks the first one.
7 for 9 from the free throw line tonight so far. Doing a good job of converting when they get there.
Got 8 of 10, excuse me. That puts Capon up by 20, and that gives Bezdek 10 points. Senior really showing out here tonight.
Looks like they're going to talk over this press a little bit, too. I think that diamond press is still causing them an awful lot of problems. They've got to find a way to get the ball to the middle of the floor somehow. They've got to find a way to stop telegraphing their passes. I mean, if you're just looking around, you can let the with too much pressure, you're making errant passes. You got to find a way to have your composure and look opposite, and then go from there. But really, ball possession is the most important thing for the Grizzlies right now.
And I think one of the best things the Grizzlies could do right now is look a little bit more up court. I mean, they're doing a lot more lateral passing, and lateral passes are a lot easier to telegraph. And we've seen that there with the deflections turning into interceptions. So potentially, maybe not lining up as laterally as they are. As we already see here, now they look up the court, trying to find Robinson. That's going to be over the head of Robinson and out of bounds. Crusaders get yet another turnover, and they will have the ball now near the half-court line.
It's one of those things that just get too sped up there. I mean, you've got to be under control when you're trying to break that press. And generally, it's not dribbling; it's more passing. But the one time they broke in the first half, they had a great look on the other end. They just passed the ball. So if they can try and stop dribbling and try and pass it, they're going to be in a better situation.
And now Romer in trouble, trying to hand it off to Jones. A little bit of a miscommunication there. And Scrap's going to call a timeout. And I think Romer was trying to get Jones, maybe not to take the handoff, but get a little bit more space in between them so she could go to the pass.
Great anticipation by I don't know who it was for the Grizzlies, but great anticipation to jump that cut so that the handoff could not be. And Lizzie had already picked it up by that point. There was nowhere to go for her after that. So great anticipation by the Grizzly defense there.
And as we've kind of already talked about, Grizzlies have come out swinging this half. That being said, the Crusaders haven't really given up either. I mean, they had extended their lead from 16 now up to 20. And that lead expansion is almost solely because of their amazing press.
Well, they're really doing a good job of speeding up Northwest. And this game, if you think about it in the second half, we're not playing on either half of the court. We're playing in transition more than anything. That muddies up a game, and I think that's maybe what the Crusaders want to do more than anything is just kind of muddy things up so that it allows some opportunities that aren't always there.
And Kate Toma's three will be in and out. And yet another Crusader press, this time going to be broken as Richard races up the floor, and she will miss the layup. Kate Toma then on the defense, and she will get the rebound as well. And now Toma with the stop and go now gets up the court to Romer. Romer gets it to Nichols. Now Nichols finds Tilly Jones for the mid-range jumper. That'll be no good. Robinson there on the rebound, however. Robinson going to step, force a dribble, so that'll be a travel. Yet another turnover for the Grizzlies, and that gives Crusaders back the ball as Emma Besnick will head off now in favor of Meg Toma. One of the first times this season we've seen both Toma sisters on the court.
That is the 21st turnover for Northwest. They've got to find a way to handle the ball a little bit.
And Kilpatrick going to exit and head off the floor now as the Grizzlies had 6 players on the court to start that possession. And it looks like number 24, Zion Williams, coming back from Northwest. As Wilson is going to be pickpocketed there by Nichols, and that ball head out of bounds. So Northwest gets a chance to reset. And trying to avoid the over and back, Robinson, gets it out. And now Richards nails the three-pointer.
Lefty, love it.
That'll be her first field goal of the evening.
And that was pure. That didn't hit any rim. That was pure. And that was going in from the time it left her hand. The Grizzlies are doing something really interesting here. One of the halftime adjustments they made is that when on those dribble handoffs, they're just doubling it. Whoever gets the ball, they're just trapping that player. And it's really kind of causing some problems for the Lady Crusaders.
As we saw, there is Nichols maybe thought the ref was one of her teammates. And that pass will head out of bounds. Now Richard in trouble. Looks up the court, finds Robinson. Now Robinson pushing up the floor. Drives, dumps it off to Williams, and Williams there.
What a great pass. What a great pass there. Good look.
And now the Crusader lead cut down just to 15. It was 28 mere moments ago. So let's see what the Northwest Grizzlies can do on defense with 3:45 left to go in the third quarter.
Well, Cape has gone 4 possessions without scoring, 2 turnovers in those. They've got to find a way to get an easy look here.
Now Romer finds one and is unable to knock down the 3. Now hit the top wire of the basket, so that'll be out of bounds. And so Northwest will have it under the KMC basket as Myra Nichols and Lizzie Romer head off in favor of Maddie Spears and Sophia Gemino. And now for Northwest, it looks like Williams will head off in favor of Leday. As Robinson will inbound, gets it to Leday, back to Robinson. Now Robinson gets it up the floor. That's Wilson. Wilson passes it inside. That'll be knocked out. That will end up in the hands of Richards.
That's a steal by Kate Tillman right there. Pick off that pass.
Now in transition, Jamino unable to knock down the left-handed layup. Maddie Spears, though, there on the rebound and the putback. Gets her first points of the night.
Way to follow up that play there by Maddie. Never giving up, never assuming anything's going to work out. Just assume that the worst is going to happen. Go get a rebound and put it back in.
And someone trying to get that block. Should be called for the foul. That'll be just her first foul of the contest.
If I'm Northwest, I want to see a lot more of that. I want to see a lot more driving to the rim, a lot more trying to get to the paint to open up some gaps in that defense. They need to keep – any of the girls that can do that, they need to keep doing that.
And Robinson will be the shooter. Northwest just 2 of 6 so far. Make that 3 of 7. And they would really like – I mean, when you're missing that many free throws, I mean, the bigger picture, that's just lost points almost.
Absolutely, absolutely.
However, Robinson able to get her team going in the right direction with 2 easy makes. So let's see what the Crusaders can do to respond. Up by 15. Looks like Jamil trying to set up the offense. He'll be stripped, however, Bezdek able to get that one. Gets back to Meg Tillman. Now Maddie Spears has the top of the key. And Robinson with the steal. As Maddie Spears on defense will foul. That'll be Maddie Spears' second personal, team foul number 2. And that will once again send Robinson to the line.
That shows you the Northwest aggression is really paying off for them. They're pressuring those passing lanes. They're trying to make everything a little bit more difficult for the Kapaun girls. And I mean, on that pass, I just would not have thrown a bounce pass. Throw a chest pass, and that probably is getting there. But we learn from those mistakes and we move on. So,
Kate, Toma, and Wilson going to exit the game for their respective teams as Sophia Fury and Williams check in. And, I mean, talking about how Northwest has been a lot more aggressive in the second half, you almost have to think that after Northwest saw how effective Kapaun's press was against them, that they might have implemented that in their own game plan.
Yeah, you know, I want to quote my dad here. Most everything I know from my dad about basketball, but he always said pressing teams do not like to be pressed. And you can see that happening right now as a turnover by the Crusaders.
As that will be a missed shot from Waday. Now Romer looking to push it up the court. Finds Jamino up the court, and now in a 4v3 situation, Jamino hits the mid-range jumper.
You gotta like that if you're a Kapaun fan to see Jamino get something going a little bit. That's only her third shot in the second half. She needs to get going to light a little bit of fire for these girls.
As Jamino now with 12 points leads her team. As Emma Bezdek right behind her with 10, and of course Lizzie Roma with 8. But overall, great third quarter so far from the Lady Crusaders. And if you're Coach Graff, you have to be happy with what he's seeing on the court. Yeah,
you came out in the second half. You see awesome adjustments. You took the punch and you kept playing. I mean, that's just what you got to do. They've as much as it feels like Northwest is making a run right now, it's still 15. I mean, they're hanging in there. They're hanging on. You just got to hang on until that punch is gone, and then you can kind of counter attack with that. But the Crusaders have got to find a way to keep the Grizzlies off the free throw line. They've got to find a way to get to the lane on offense.
And we've seen players like Robinson doing a great job of that, mostly in transition, but she's also done it on normal possession as well. So, you know, as you said earlier, any player you have that can potentially drive to the basket and drive those styles, you have to be urging to do so.
Absolutely.
Now Waday going to inbound. Crusaders going to come back with the press.
And this looks like a slightly different press. This looks like a man press, where it just looks like they're not going to trap out of it all that much. They're just going to pick up full court. I have seen them do some run and jump stuff, but I don't think that's what this is right here. This is just solid man-to-man.
And they're going to get a 10-second violation, almost single-handedly. Emma Bezdek there. And, I mean, I can't stress that enough. I mean, that is truly impressive to be in a one-on-one situation and not allow your man to get across half court.
Boy, that was textbook. That's exactly what you want to see. You want to see her trying to turn that girl as many times as humanly possible, and she really did a good job of that.
And Sophia Jamil going to be called for the travel. Now we'll get Northwest back the ball.
That's a tough pass to catch right there. That's a tough pass to handle, especially in short area right there with the half court right there. That's tough to handle. I would have preferred to see the inbounder wait till her cut all the way through and then have somebody else cut up to get open with a little more space. There's not a lot of room.
And now Leday going to hand it off to Robinson. Robinson double team drives, tries to get it inside, but she's going to travel. Took a little bit of a big step there trying to get it inside, and it looks like that's going to draw the travel call. Boy,
you can see what she was looking for, though. That's a heck of a pass, even with the travel. I think she got the ball to the person she wanted to get the ball to, but not before she traveled, unfortunately.
And Meg Toma going to come off now in favor of her older sister, Kate Toma. And, of course, the Toma sisters more known for their golf careers. But Kate Toma is a truly interesting story as Graf, after, starting out pretty rough, 1-4, went to Kate Toma needing some height, and Toma was there to deliver. And it's been a crucial part of this team so far this season.
Well, coming into the season, one of those things you're really worried about with this girls team is how they're going to rebound losing 6'4" Ella Ancio to Wichita State and 6'1" Jennifer Jacobs to Benedictine, both playing college basketball now. I mean, that's tough to replace. You can't replace that size. So any players you can get with some size, you want to swipe them up as quickly as you can.
And now Sophia Fury going to step out of bounds, facing a double team. And Leday and Kilpatrick going to come back on now in favor of Wilson and Williams. No, excuse me, Wilson and Stubbs. Williams going to remain on the court. My apologies. And now Robinson, the inbound from Northwest, gets it into Leday. We once again see this man-on-man press. This time Romer going to have Leday. Now Leday is able to get it across half court just fine.
Man-to-man defense by the Crusaders here. It looks like Northwest is going to play a lot of 4-out, 1-in, with they're trying to isolate 42 is that Kilpatrick in the post.
And great scrappy defense there by Sophia Jamino, the junior. Going to get the jump ball call. And that possession are going to be in favor of Kapaun, so Kapaun able to get the ball back.
Boy, out of their last 11 possessions, they've had 9 turnovers and 2 points. The Crusaders have. They've really got to find something easy. I can't stress that enough. They've got to find something that's going to the basket and somewhere where they can put a person in a position where they have a good chance of scoring.
And Romer, looking a little lost there, is going to lose the ball out of bounds. That's going to be called off the hands of Williams. Actually, it's going to get another chance. And now Romer has it on the inside, tries to find Toma, and after some chaos, she does. And now Xavier's looking to reset a little bit here as Romer gets it back to Jamino, and Jamino backs up to the logo. 37 and change left to go in the third quarter. So Crusaders are looking to get at least one more good possession out of the quarter and potentially put some points on the board.
Boy, the pressure being extended a little bit here by the Grizzlies. They're pressuring out to near the volleyball line. We'll see how the Crusaders handle that. Now a double.
And now Romer going to lose the double. And now looks like Jamino going to have it near the crest. Now just 10 seconds left to go.
So we got a high ball screen coming here by Sophia Fury.
And
Jamino's going to take it all by herself.
Some beautiful ball handling there, able to get into the lane and then have an open lane to the basket. And Jamino able to convert on the way up to end the third quarter. That gives her 14 as they head into the fourth. Score 41-24. Kapaun up by 17. I know we keep saying this, but Coach Kraft has to be just through the roof with his girls' play here tonight.
There's been a lot of turnovers, but boy, both teams are trying to play under control. You can see them trying to run the offense they're trying to run, but the pressure is just a little tough right now. The team that can handle the pressure is going to end up being the most successful team at the end of this game. Kapaun's got a nice head start. They just need to finish it out and be solid for the rest of the game, and I think they'll be in a good position to finish out this game.
And going into the fourth quarter play with a comfortable lead that they have, you got to think that at some point they're going to start laying off that press. You don't want to tire your players too much, especially if you're going to keep the stars in like he has so far in the game. So you got to think that the Crusaders are going to have to play a little bit more conservative defense.
Absolutely. Boy, you know, if I'm Northwest coming into this fourth quarter down 17, I am upping the pressure. I am pressuring everything, and I am trying to get the ball in as many times to 42 as I possibly can. That's Kilpatrick, and I'm telling any of my guards that can get to the paint, you go until someone stops you. They've got to find a way to score some points in a real quick hurry here. 17's a lot to come back from in a quarter.
And Robinson has been that guard so far from Northwest, Richard being the main facilitator, and this time Richard going to take it all the way to the basket herself. However, this is going to be a missed layup. And rebound goes to Kate Toma once again. Now Jamino gets all the way up to Bezdek. Bezdek's layup going to be no good. She'll be fouled by Kilpatrick, however. That'll be Kilpatrick's first personal. Team foul number 2 for Northwest. Now Bezdek coming back to the line. Went 1 for 2 for her first trip. And she missed the first. Prior to that shot, Kapaun was shooting 80%, which, I mean, that's above ideal, I would say.
That's very good.
Able to knock down the second.
Kapaun sticking with the full court, like man-to-man defense. They're not trying to trap out of this. They're just trying to cause some problems and maybe slow him down, but it's actually just speeding him up a little bit. So,
and great job there by Romer. The deflected pass over. It's going to be picked up there by Williams. And now foul going to be called. Looks like Bezdek's going to be the recipient of this one. I mean, her second personal, team foul number 3. We're seeing the refs, you know, a little quicker with that whistle here in the fourth.
Absolutely. That's pretty standard. You see that a lot.
I mean, everybody does miss 3 from Richard. Goes out of bounds. But I was going to say, I mean, you talked about how if you're Northwest, you're looking to play pretty aggressive, pretty physical. And, I mean, the whistle's going to come along with that style of play.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they're gonna come in and show some full court pressure here. This looks like a zone. They just don't want Sophia to have the ball. They're just face guarding Sophia.
And now with Day, and it looks to be Kilpatrick going to head off now in favor of Wilson and Stubbs.
So man-to-man, so Kapaun needs to have really great possessions here. They need to end possessions with a really good look. There you go.
Nice reversal way up there by Jamino. And that Northwest defense isn't having too much of an effect on her.
There wasn't any help there. I think everybody was looking to pressure their own girl there at that point, and you've really got to see the ball. If you don't see the ball, you can have somebody dribble right past you and you have no idea, but you got to see the ball, which means everybody's got to help out with that, and there just wasn't there that time.
And the Lady Crusaders doing a great job, staying on their man as they do the swing passes around the perimeter. And this time it'll end up in a turnover. Great defense there by Tilly Jones. Now, cross-court pass to Romer. Now gets up the court to Jamino. Jamino, nice pass inside to Toma, and Toma able to convert on the layup. Credit Jamino with that assist.
Fantastic break there. I think there were 2 dribbles, if that. 2 dribbles by Jamino and 3 passes and just wide open layup. Well done, ladies.
And now Jones pressure to pass to Richard. Now Kate Toma with her third block of the contest.
That was a 2-handed block.
Not something you see too often. She almost picked that one out of the air.
Nah. Fantastic.
Crusaders now up by 22. And the Northwest attempt to come back in this game is looking like it may be in vain. As a new face now, as number 10 on your screen, Kari Wimberly.
Deshaun Leday just hit that 3 from the left wing.
And now Jones gets it inside. Nice pass. And now Kate Toma unable to convert there on the hook shot. Now hitting it away with it will be Richard from Northwest. Looking to slow it down a little bit here.
Well, if you're Kapaun, you really want to play solid defense and you don't want to foul. Getting fouled is the quickest way of getting, and there we go, foul. But fouling is the easiest way to get back into a ball game. The clock doesn't run while they're shooting these free throws. That's the best chance that Northwest has to get back in this game is getting foul calls and going to the line.
And that'll be Romer's second personal, team foul number 4, and Stubbs Cameron Stubbs going to be at the line for the first time here tonight. And first attempt going to be off the mark. And the Grizzlies shooting just over 40%. Just about. And we talked about how Cape's shooting 8%. That's exactly where we want to be. If you're trying to get back into a ball game, 40% is not where you want to be.
No, I mean, at this point, it's 5 minutes to go, down 19. You've got to either going to the rim with bad intentions to get fouled, or you're putting up a bunch of threes and hope you hit some.
And that shot gets him up to 50%. As now Jamino drives, goes coast to coast, puts up a shot, and she'll head to the line.
But with that, you also have to get stops, though. I mean, your defense has to be a little bit more aggressive than what it was there. I mean, they've got to pick up the pressure a little bit if they want to make this game a little interesting.
And that foul going to go to number 10, Carly Wimberly. That'll be her first stat of the night. And that'll be team foul number 3. And is Jamino able to convert our first free throw?
I'd like to know Sophia's percentage on the year. I just feel like when she goes to the free throw line, you can just pretty much just chalk up 2 points and we'll just go play defense. But she's pretty automatic from there, and she does a really good job of getting to the free throw line, which is probably the hardest part about it.
And I mean, there's a lot of people on this team, particularly Jamino and then Romer. I mean, everyone has their bad free throw nights, but in general, I mean, when Romer and Jamino and Bezdek, any of those three head to the line, I mean, you hit it right on the dot there when you said, I mean, you can chalk up 2 points. It's almost automatic.
And Romer, I think he's either has one of the – last year as a freshman, either had one of the greatest, like, percentage seasons for a Cape and girls player. She might be the leader on top of of all time for free throw percentage in a season. So she's a good free throw shooter. I'd like to see her get there more, honestly, because she's so good at it. So,
I mean, that's somewhat harder to do when you are a shooter like she is. Right. I mean, it's a lot harder to draw those fouls from free throw. But we saw here tonight, I mean, she's learning and she's doing a lot better job of developing. And now that is a runner there by Richard. Cuts the lead just now to 18. But as I was saying, I mean, we saw her earlier in the game, hit that pump fake and then drive after that, and that drew a foul.
Well, the more dynamic you can be, the more difficult you are to guard. So,
and Jamino going to pick up her 20th point of the night, leading her team once again. And Jamino is having an absolute heyday here tonight.
That was set up by, miscommunication on the defense. They had a dribble handoff that didn't get handed off, and there's bad communication on whether we're switching, whether we're staying, and nobody stayed. Nobody stayed with Jamino, and she's got a wide open layup. Credit Kate Tillman for just standing in place and letting a layup go up. So that's perfect. Good job by the girls there.
And now Northwest going to call their third timeout. They'll have 2 remaining. And something I was a little bit confused on earlier in the game is, as Capen kind of expanded the lead more and more, we didn't see as many timeouts as I would have expected from Northwest. I mean, they have 2 now, which in this case is plenty, with just over 3 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. But you usually want to use those timeouts as that lead is expanding rather than after the fact.
Right. I think as a coach, so many times you want to try and fix it in game without, because you might need those timeouts at the end. And so if you use those timeouts early on, you don't have them at the end. But I think so many coaches, and I do this too, where you don't want to use those timeouts early because you don't feel like it's dire enough. It's that big of a problem that you have to get fixed. But sometimes those little problems keep getting bigger and bigger, and by the time you don't need those 2 timeouts left down by 20. So, but that's a hard line to figure out, though. But yeah, I think this game we've seen the evidence that maybe there could have been a couple more timeouts, but I don't know if that was going to fix the issues that need to be fixed. So,
now Richard tries to look from 3. That'll be no good. In and out. Rebound goes to Sophia Jamino.
Boy, that looked good too. I thought she had that one.
And now Jamino going to slow it down a little bit here.
Boy, Capen needs to run some clock here. They need to get a really good look.
And it looks like they might have one there, and now Sophia Jamino kicks one out to Sloan, and Sloan unable to convert on the mid-range. And Sloan going to step out of bounds. And Northwest warning a foul there, but it will not come. Now heading it away with it is Richards. Now Richards kicks it to Robinson. Robinson can try to walk from 3. That is no good. Rebounded by Spears. Spears. Rushing up the court, gets it to Jamino. And once again, we see the Lady Crusaders trying to slow it down a little bit here, trying to chew up that clock. And now Jamino going to miss a runner. She hits the ground hard, maybe looking for a foul there. But Kate Toma's going to get the foul instead. This will be Kate Toma's first trip to the free throw line. Crusaders right now shooting 11 of 14.
I wish my freshman shot that well from the free throw line.
They're getting there.
Yeah,
they're getting there.
Yeah. Freshman had a nice win tonight, had a 15 or 14-point win. They played really hard, handled a lot of really good pressure from a Northwest team.
I mean, it must have a big fourth quarter. I believe there was, up by only 4 heading to the fourth.
Absolutely. Had a great fourth quarter, really found a way to get the things done we needed to get done. They came out in the second half. They kind of did what the girls did tonight, the Northwest girls. The girls come out in the second half, and they just all of a sudden there's a bunch of pressure happening, and they're kind of trying to cause problems. They're being really physical. We faced that in the freshman game too, where the second half, and all of a sudden they come out in the zone and they're pressuring everything. Boy, it took us a while to adjust.
I mean, not much you can't overcome when you have the coaching of William Hebert. So. And
what a pass.
Nice block as well from Robinson, as Sophia Fury was almost blindsided there. And now Bezek tries to walk from 3. That'll be no good off the front iron. Now Sloan gets the rebound, puts up a shot. That'll be no good. Saved by Fury, except Fury's going to be called out of bounds and now head Northwest direction. And Northwest still down by 21. Really losing hope here with 3:07 left to go in the game.
If it's me, I'm shooting threes every single time. I'm probably not even getting to the three-point line.
And another turnover from Northwest, as Ellie Stewart will now check in for Emma Bezdek. And the last time we saw Stewart was against West High, and she scored her first career points from the free throw line.
Fantastic.
So she can do here tonight in these final moments. Now Nichols gets up to Sophia Fury. Fury gets up to Stewart. Stewart thinks about driving, but then kicks it back out to Fury. Fury back to Sloan. Sloan now to Spears, Now Spears to Nichols. And the Crusaders really just looking to chew up some clock now. And Richards going to be called for the foul. And team foul number 5. That'll be Richards first.
I think that's a little bit of a frustration foul. Things aren't going quite as well as you'd hope they were. I think that's just that's normal. That happens. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So we'll see what the girls can do here. They need a good possession. They need to get a good look out of this.
And Sasha Reed now checking in from Northwest in favor of Wilson. As now Stewart kicks back to Nichols. Now Nichols back to Fury. And still the Lake Shares just trying to chew up as much clock as possible. Now Stewart tries her luck from 3. That'll be no good. Rebound goes to Richards. Now nice. Richards tries to get to Dave. That'll be stripped by Carson Sloan, and jump ball going to be called.
Boy, good. Sophia Fury is not going to get credit for that rebound, but boy, if she's not there, that rebound is not had by Carson Sloan there. She got a hand on the ball a couple different times to keep that ball out of possession of the Northwest girl. Hey, that's a great job by her. That's those little things that happen that never show up on the stat sheet at all, but matter so much.
And now Fury going to draw the foul. You never would say you're doing that intentionally, but she did do a pretty good job there of, snatching the arm of Waday. And Waday will now foul out, and she'll finish tonight with 6 points. And it looks like Owen Mills going to be subbing in now. And Phoebe LaFleur going to come in along with Jesse Kemp and Maddie Boatwright.
Lauren Keiss as well.
Lauren Keiss, I didn't notice that one.
Yep. So it looks like they're going to play out there with Ellie Stewart. Good for these girls to get some time and see what they can do in a varsity game, especially since there's no JV game today. So good for them. And
especially for Maddie Boatwright, I believe it is her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Maddie.
So she'll get some playing time on her birthday.
it's my birthday, I'm shooting it every single time I catch it. Every single time I'm catching it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think I ever did play it. I didn't play basketball too long. I didn't play in high school, so I don't think I ever played on my birthday.
Well, when you play in the rec league in the next few years,
yeah.
You're playing the old guys, on your birthday, you shoot every single time. That's just what you do.
And Stewart going to miss a 3. And now Kai's going to be called for a foul. Now be team foul number 6, and Kais is first. And now Kapaun on the edge of the bonus. I mean, not that it would matter too much, up by 21 with just under 2 minutes left to go.
You know, this is a game where at this point, this game's not in question really anymore. You want your girls to play hard, and you want to see what some girls can do that don't normally get in as much. But really, what you want to do is get out of here with no injuries and just finish out the game. That's really what you want to do.
And now a great effort there by Sasha Reed goes awry, and rebound eventually end up in the hands of a floor, as now a Ellie Stewart layup ends up in a tussle. And now on the other end of the court, Kais in a fight for life there on the floor will eventually draw a foul. No, excuse me. It looks like Coach Graff's going to call a timeout to retain possession. But great job there by the freshman. You know, not giving up hope there on the floor.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, with a minute 24 left in the game, you could somehow get a little passive and a little apathetic about what's going on. But I love her intensity there. She went on the floor and she wasn't letting anybody else get it. That's fantastic.
And that's another great thing. You know, letting these underclassmen and sometimes these JV players get in. I mean, they're fighting for their life out there. I mean, they're going to make sure they get every stat, every opportunity to impress the coach that they can.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is their audition for the next game or the next practice. This is how you earn playing time for the next game.
And Coach Graff getting one or potentially one final few words in with his players as we head into the final stages of this game. Of course, join us for the boys' game coming up. That will once again be against Northwest and the boys. I believe you will be on the sideline for that.
Yes,
Coach
I will be on the sideline. It should be a nice game. Andy Hill's the head coach of the boys team. I've been buddies with him since college. It's always fun to play against him. And they've got a nice team this year. I think they're going to shoot a bunch of threes. I think they're going to play really good defense. They're really well coached. I'm excited to see what they do. So.
And now Jesse Kemp's going to be ruled out of bounds. So now get Northwest back the ball with 1:21 left to go in the game.
And also, I think this boys' game is 1 versus 2 in the City League, from what I understand.
That is true.
Okay.
Kapaun, of course, is undefeated in the City League. As Robinson hits a 3, that cuts it now to 18 points.
They got a couple girls that can really shoot it from the outside. I just don't think they got quite the opportunities they wanted to. With the amount of turnovers they had, I think it just limited too limiting of opportunities. So
I mean, if I'm Northwest heading into practice next week, they've got to work on their press break abilities heading further into the season. I mean, presses are going to be something, especially come playoff time, like that, are going to be almost something you can count on.
Absolutely.
And now, Coach, breaking this girls one more time. After the Northwest timeout, both teams will have one timeout remaining.
You'd like to see the Kapaun girls, instead of trying to dribble up the sideline, maybe try and pass the ball, try and keep the ball in the middle of the floor. The more times you reverse it, the better chance you're going to have. There's a nice pass to the middle there.
Now Loffer going to take it herself. Now kicks it to Kais. Kais from the mid-range. That'll be good. And Kais gets her.
Nice
first
attack.
basket.
And if you can get past that second layer of the press, you just want to go until they stop you. That's a great job by Phoebe Loffer there.
And now Jesse Kemp going coast to coast, puts up the lefty. That'll be no good. Out of bounds, off the hands of Williams. Great block there by Williams. And then the LA Crusaders get one more, or potentially two more, but maybe one good possession left.
Well, now you're in danger territory if you don't want to run up the score, so you don't want to take a shot too late. So I don't know when that time is. I have no idea when that time is. Do you know when that time is? What's the cutoff for when you're allowed to sportsmanlike take a shot still?
I think you can always take a shot. I mean, I think, I mean, I think once you take out your starters, I think everything's fair game.
Okay, I got you. I'm with you.
But I mean, if you have your starters, then I think around the 1 minute. I mean, it also depends on the lead. If you're up by 20, I say.
What if you're up 50 with 12 seconds to go?
If you're up by 50, there's no reason your starters to be. I mean, like.
Well, no, I mean, even if you're up by 50 with your non-starters in, you taking a shot with 12 seconds? Oh, really?
I mean, you gotta go. Like, I wouldn't put up a bad shot. But I mean, if you're giving an open look, I mean, you gotta take the shot.
So you're saying anything other than one step across half-court 3-point heat?
Yeah.
Anything other than that's fine.
You know, if you're swing pass, and then someone gets open, I mean, you gotta take that shot.
Okay.
And now Boatwright kicks at the Kais, and now we see these swing passes really just trying to eat up these last seconds. Now Offer drives, and her shot will be batted out of bounds. And now with 7.1 seconds left, Kapaun will have it under their own basket.
Boy, you like to see this. Both teams still playing really hard. That's fantastic.
And now Stewart looks to be heading off now, has it with Boatwright. It looks like Boatwright steps out of bounds. Maybe not the stat she wanted to record on her birthday, but a stat nonetheless. So
a stat nonetheless.
That will bring us to the end of the game. And the final score going to be 53-33. Great 20-point win by the Lady Crusaders, as they move now to 3-6 on the season.
I think Coach Kraft saw a lot of things that he liked tonight. I think he saw some things he didn't like tonight. They can go back and continue working on a couple things in the practice. You know, they start their tournament next week, so they've got a couple days off. They got some things they need to fix, but I think it's uplifting for what Coach Graff saw tonight and his staff. So.
And with that, we're going to sign off now, as we will join you back in about 20 minutes for the boys' game. And so with that, I've been Gabriel Bryanbach.
And I'm Will Hebert.
There you go. Hello and welcome to Kapaun Mt. Carmel, home of your Crusaders. And we're going to start off here with the starting lineups for each team.
Starting off for Northwest is number 1, DeMarcus Hoover.
And first up for Kapaun Mt. Carmel is the center, number 0, junior Will Ancio.
And next for the Grizzlies is the sophomore guard, Tayshawn Williams.
A little bit dance move on that introduction.
Yeah.
As now next up for KMC is sophomore guard Will Thingvall, number 4.
And the guard for the Northwest Grizzlies, number 4, Robbie James.
Luke Porter going to be starting off for Kapaun Mt. Carmel, the senior, number 5. And I believe actually Jeremiah Moore going to be starting over Robbie James, number 3 on your screen.
Oh, yeah, my bad there. And number 11, Keon Hutton, the senior guard.
And next up for KMC is the senior forward, number 10, Isaac Smits.
And rounding up the lineup for Northwest is the senior, number 25, Kevin Brown.
And rounding up the starting lineup for your Kapaun Mt. Carmel Crusaders is number 11, senior forward, Henry Thingvall.
And tonight, Gabe, I heard it's going to be a pretty good matchup. Northwest is second in City League behind the Crusaders. And so obviously trying to get that win over Kapaun tonight. And it's going to be a really competitive game. I think one of the best games we're going to see in a while now for the boys team.
And I mean, on the flip side of that, I mean, Kapaun's undefeated in the City League so far here this season. I mean, their only loss came in the season opener to Mays, of course, and the ACTVL, I believe.
AVCTL?
AVCTL?
There we go. I think
Sorry.
it's AVCTL.
Something.
Yeah, one of the
Not
other
the
league.
City League. Not the
Yeah.
City League. So Kapaun is undefeated in the City League, and they come into this matchup 7-1 overall. And to start off the game, it will be a tip-off, and Will Ancio will win that tip-off for KMC. He was going against number 11, Hutton there. And here comes KMC. And we've seen this time and time again, Kapaun Mt. Carmel coming out of the gates strong as ever, really trying to keep up the pace of the game. And now Henry Thingvall, shot going to be no good on the first attempt. And now his brother, Will Thingvall, can get the rebound, put that back up. That's going to be no good. And after a third try from Henry Thingvall, that's still going to be no good. And whistle going to be blown. That'll be a foul called on Tayshawn Williams, number 2. First personal, first team foul as well. And that will have the Crusaders have another chance. And now Crusaders working it around, trying to get an open shooter. Now Luke Porter gets it back up to Will Thingvall. Will Thingvall drives, kicks back up to his brother Henry Thingvall. Henry Thingvall tries to get inside. He does. That's Will Ancio. Now back out to Henry Thingvall. Henry Thingvall thinks about shooting, but then drives, puts up a shot. That'll be no good. Plucked out of the air there by DeMarcus Hoover for the rebound. Now heading the other way is Northwest. And so we see Kapaun trying to stay home as much as possible there, and that forces a turnover there. It's going to be called on Jeremiah Moore for the travel.
Yeah, and Northwest so far, just based on their defense, they're going to be a fast-paced team, trying to get to the rim, and then on the defensive end, really applying a lot of pressure and going to make it difficult for Kapaun to score.
Now Ancio tries to find someone. He finds Henry Thingvall, top of the key. And now Kapaun slowing it down a little bit here. Maybe getting too excited there on that first possession, as now a 3 from Will Thingvall is good. First make for the Crusaders. And that's first basket for Will Thingvall. Let's see what the Northwest Grizzlies can do on their second possession. That Williams gets it back to Moore. Moore to Hutton. No, excuse me, that is Hoover, and now Hoover turns it over. Now bringing up the court is Will Thingvall. Once again, slowing it down a little bit here. That's what Porter has on the wing. And an easy wide open lane to the hoop for Luke Porter. That gives him his first basket on his first attempt, and that pushes the Crusader lead now to 5.
Good court recognition there by Porter.
And on the defensive end, the Grizzlies really allowing the Crusaders to penetrate as much as they want. And great defense there by Will Ansel to force a miss from from Hutton. Now on the other end, Will Thingvall misses his layup, but Henry Thingvall there to put that back in the basket. And Wichita Northwest going to take their first timeout of the game. They'll have 4 remaining. And it'll be a 7-0 run to start off the game. You can't ask for much more if you're Coach Eck.
Yeah, Kapaun, first possession of the game, struggling a little bit, couldn't get anything to go, but after that they turned it on, started making plays, finding the open man, driving to the basket, and that's going to work really well for them tonight on the offensive end.
We've kind of mentioned how Kapaun's done a great job coming out of the gates, but if you're Northwest, one of the biggest things you have to do is, not allow that interior penetration that we've been seeing so far here in the game.
And so now Northwest looking to buy a bucket here. So still have 0, and Jeremiah Moore bringing up the ball.
And Jeremiah Moore, really the quarterback of this offense, just as he is for the Northwest football team, really the main facilitator. And so Kapaun Mt. Carmel, of course, putting a lot of emphasis on him, putting Luke Porter on him for the man-on-man assignment. And another turnover. This time Hutton.
Yeah, and going back to Moore, he's really a shifty dude, quick, and so he's going to look to penetrate and draw the defense to him, and so that's something that Kapaun's defense is going to have to look out for.
The thing ball finds Luke Porter. Now Luke Porter loses it. Will Anto there to get it back for him. And now Anto inside to Smith. Smith's unable to convert on the layup. And that rebound goes to Hoover. Hoover loses it. Tries to find a man inside, and he does. That is Brown. Now Brown kicks it out to Moore. Moore tries to look from 3. That is no good. Rebound goes to Will Thingvall. Will Thingvall gets up to Henry Thingvall. Henry Thingvall stripped by Moore. Moore unable to save that one, so that'll be out of bounds off of Moore. But still a great block from the Northwest quarterback.
Yeah, good hustle there, getting back. Henry's so tall that Moore was just able to strip it down.
And now Ancio going to be stripped. Hutton once again now goes coast to coast, able to convert on the layup.
And that'll go.
That'll be Northwest's first basket of the game. Now Henry Thingvall bringing it up for Kapaun Mt. Carmel. Kapaun's still up by 5, so you don't want to panic too much, but still can respond from that basket. Or to that basket, rather. Now Henry Thingvall tries to look from 3. That is good! From the crest. And Henry Thingvall has his second basket. First from the 3-point arc. And now Jeremiah Moore down by 8, trying to get something going for Northwest. There's now Williams in trouble, double teamed. Finds Brown, guarded by Ancio. Ancio forces a horrible shot underneath the hoop. And great defense there by Luke Porter and Will Ancio. Now up the court, that's Will Thingvall at the crest. Gets a screen from his brother. Now inside to Henry Thingvall. Layup going to be good. Really just great chemistry from the Thingvall brothers. You almost expect that as they live under the same roof. But still great to see that on the court. Now Williams gets back to Moore. Now Moore over to the corner. That's Hoover who loses it. Got picked up there by Will Thingvall up the court to Henry Thingvall. Now Ancio, right-hand layup is good, excuse me. Credit Henry Thingvall with the assist on that one.
And so far, Kapaun really causing a lot of turnovers on the defensive end, and that's turning into transition points. And we've seen that really help their success in their past games.
And something on that last session, Sophia, once that ball really hit the floor and it became a loose ball situation, we didn't really see Northwest react all that much. You would expect them, first of all, try to jump on the ball, try to get that ball back, but even when they didn't do that, they didn't really get back on defense either, allowing for an easy layup by Will Ancio. Because once Henry Thingvall was bringing up that ball, it was a 2v1 situation, which is somewhat odd after a loose ball. But nevertheless, that's going to be 2 points for Kapaun Mt. Carmel, not something you want to complain about.
Yeah, and, for Northwest, definitely trying to correct that right here. That's just all about hustle, nothing special they need to do there other than get back and play good defense. And so something very correctable for the Grizzlies.
And another thing is Northwest now using their second timeout of the game. You don't want to burn through those too fast. I mean, you do want to correct your mistakes as they come. Because you don't want to, wait for things to develop too much, and then next thing you know, you're down by 15. Those timeouts aren't going to do you much good. But in the present, you're only down by 12. So, you don't want to burn through those too fast. Now Moore, after coming out of timeout, will chuck one up from 3. And that will be no good. Now Brown has it. Back to Moore. Now back to Hutton. Hutton, guarded by Henry Dingwall, forces a turnover, and that's Tegan Charles. He comes off the bench and has an immediate impact. Gets an interception there. And now Will Dingwall bringing it up the court. Dominic Shibley also in for the Cape Mount Carmel Crusaders, as well as Robbie James and Takari Brown coming in for the Northwest Grizzlies. Northwest doing a lot better job now, staying home, not allowing as much interpenetration. But it doesn't really matter as Will Dingwall going to hit that beautiful runner for 2.
Great shot there by Will Thingvall, but, solid defense by Northwest. Not much they could do there.
Now Anto gets a steal. Up the court to Henry Dingwall. Henry Dingwall over to convert. Credit Ancio with the assist. Anytime you have a center who can have a full court pass like that, you can't be complaining much. Now Jeremiah Moore drives and will be fouled. Now stay on the floor. And Ancio saves Moore from getting bonked on the head there. Now Moore will head off the court in favor of Deshaun Brown. No, it's Deshaun Williams, excuse me. Number 2 on your screen. Now the freshman comes on for Cape Mount Carmel. That is Corbin Johnson in favor of William Ancio. Somewhat of an odd choice. Cape still does have some height in. And Brown unable to convert off the layup. Kind of caught KMC off guard there, but nevertheless, that is going to be no good. And now Will Dingwall puts up another shot. He'll be fouled, and he'll be shooting 2.
Looks like the foul there was on Takari Brown, his first.
Have a team foul number 2. And we once again see Corbin Johnson getting into the game really early. For a freshman. And we've also something we've begun to know about Corbin Johnson. He's become one of the best true shooters on this team. You get him into space and you give him some room, he's going to knock that down almost every time.
Exactly, and he's really fought for his time on this court. And, he didn't start off getting time on the court by just shooting, but having aggressive plays, getting steals, pushing the ball up the court, that'll buy him more time on the court.
And that 3 from Robbie James can be off the mark. And after the 2 made free throws from Will Dingwall, Cape now up by 18, looking to make it 20 on this possession. Corbin Johnson finds Will Dingwall on the wing. And now gets a screen from Charles. Now taking Charles inside, able to convert on that way up. And that gives him his first points of the game. And that puts KMC up by 20. Now Williams spins, puts up a shot, and that is no good. Got a little too fancy with that one. Taking Charles on that rebound. Now heading the other way, Henry Dingwall puts up a 3 for Cape Mount Carmel. That'll be no good. Now under 50 seconds will have to go in the first quarter. And both sides looking to speed things up as Hutton kicks out to Williams. Williams puts up a deep 3. That'll be no good. In and out. Rebound goes to initially Takari Brown, but now Henry Dingwall in the open court. That will be good. We'll call that a dunk.
Yeah,
we'll call that a dunk. Not much else you call it, but now a steal by the Dingwall brothers gives Capen yet another chance to put up some points before the first quarter break. Now Will Dingwall puts up one from 3. That'll be no good. Rebounded by Hutton of Northwest. And now Hutton puts up a shot, coast to coast. That'll be no good. And a joint effort by the Brown brothers gets 2 points on the board for Northwest. Now with 3 seconds left, Tegan Charles trying to make something happen. Tegan Charles puts up a shot. That'll be good. A turn away fader from Charles ends the quarter on a buzzer beater. That'll be his second made basket and his second buzzer beater in just 1 week. He had one halftime of last game against the West Pioneers, and now here again tonight.
And Tegan really showed out last game against West. And same thing with Corbin. Corbin Johnson. He's getting a lot more playing time, and so Charles doing a great job making some plays for the Kapaun Crusaders.
And heading into the second quarter, Kapaun Mt. Carmel with an absolutely tremendous first quarter. I mean, we came in this game thinking it was going to be competitive. I'm not saying that it won't get more competitive down the line, but any time that you can hold your opponent to just 4 points in the first quarter, you've got to be doing a lot of things right.
Yeah, what's crazy to me is they're up by 22, and rarely do you see that momentum from just one quarter of play. I mean, that's just great effort, and it really is a lot of just transition points and moving the ball up the court.
I mean, the scoreboard tells you even more than that. Of course, 4 points, great defense over it, but 26 points, I mean, they're on pace to break the 3-digit barrier. So, I mean, again, tremendous first quarter from the Crusaders on both ends of the court. You can see a little bit different lineup here for Kapaun Mt. Carmel. Corbin Johnson and Dominic Shibley at the guards. And then the 4 positions being taken up by Isaac Smith and Tegan Charles. And, of course, Will Anto back in at center. And from Northwest, we have Hoover and Jeremiah Moore in at the backcourt positions. Takari Brown and what looks to be Robbie James in at the 4 positions as Hutton. No, excuse me, as
Hoover. Yeah, great move there by Hoover.
To get that one to go. And, of course, into the center position is Kevin Brown. Now, after the recap, Kapaun Mt. Carmel has the ball back after Northwest able to put it through the basket on their first possession. Let's see what Kapaun can do to respond. Isaac Smith looking around, has a cross-court pass to Corbin Johnson. Corbin Johnson going to be intercepted. Isaac Smith's able to get back on defense, but Hoover able to convert it nonetheless, and Smith takes a dive into the bleachers. It looks like he's going to be okay. And Hoover really coming out to get strong. 4 points in under a minute.
Now excuse me, Gabe, this Northwest Grizzlies team is not going to go away. Sure, it was a little bit of a slap in the face in the first quarter, but they're going to continue to fight. They got 3 quarters of play left.
Now Johnson will inbound, and Tegan Charles able to catch them off guard, and he'll get his 6th point. And, you know, the referee's really given the ball to the inbounder pretty early. We saw Northwest almost get Kapaun off guard with that play to Kevin Brown as Jeremiah Moore puts a layup into the basket for 2. You know, that might be something that influences the game later on. Now Johnson gets it to Smith. Now Dominic Shibley. Drive, spins, that'll be no good. Blocked out of bounds by Moore. Crusaders get another chance, however. And Corbin Johnson will head off the court now for Luke Porter. Great effort there by the freshman. As now another turnover from KMC will also result in a foul. Tegan Charles is going to be called for his first personal, team foul number 2. Actually, now be Tegan Charles' 2nd personal foul. My apologies. Now Jeremiah Moore rushing up the court from Northwest. Moore, no look pass to the corner. That's Takari Brown. Now Takari Brown goes through the legs of his brother, and that'll be out of bounds.
Yeah, and you see Steve Eck putting Porter back in, trying to slow down Moore there as Moore's been, you know, getting to the basket and keeping the pace of play.
We saw that work in the first quarter as, you know, right out of the gate, Luke Porter was automatically assigned to Jeremiah Moore, and Moore had little to no production. Only putting up 2 points, and now Anto unable to convert on the reverse layup. But Luke Porter there on the nice rebound, and now Anto on his 2nd attempt able to put that one through. Credit Luke Porter with that assist. And Luke Porter able to get a rebound and an assist in the same possession. And we talk about, you know, Smith and Porter being 2 important starters, not really for their scoring output, but more so for their hustle capability. I mean, Smith does a great job being a rebounding force, and of course, he's known for at least getting 1 charge game. So that's something that, you know, doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but, you know, is really important to this team.
Yeah, I mean, Schmidt's trying to take a charge right there, and both Schmitz and Porter also do a great job of getting the ball to their scorers. They see the court really great, and, you know, they're able to get their assists.
And now Luke Porter We'll get it to Will Thingwall. As Will Thingwall checks back into the game. And he's been having a monster night so far. 7 points, leads the team in scoring, I believe.
I think Henry.
No, excuse me. Henry Thingwall has 2 more points in him. My apologies. One of the Thingwall brothers is Sweden. That's what's important.
Yeah.
Anyway, Will Thingwall tries to look for 3. That'll be good. Great find there by Ancio to get that cross-court pass to the open shooter. And now Will Thingwall leads his team in scoring with 10. His second made 3. Now Hoover trying to find some open space, drives, and then tries to get to Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown does get it this time, but now a shot put up by James. Going to be no good. Rebounded by Kevin Brown, and Kevin Brown blocked from behind by Tegan Charles, but Tegan Charles is going to be called for a foul. That'll be his 3rd personal. And after a good first quarter on the offensive end, it looks like Tegan Charles might be heading to the bench due to foul trouble.
Yeah, 3 fouls in a short span of time. Not something, that's a great thing for Charles, but that just shows he's trying to be aggressive and just needs to work on, there's a line there. You can't be too aggressive where you get those fouls called, but good effort there by Charles.
And now Henry Thingwall back into the game for KMC in favor of Tegan Charles as Kevin Brown goes 0 for 2 at the free throw line. And now Williams puts one in from the mid-range. That is good. Northwest still down by 21 with 4:20 left to go in the first half. Now inside to Ancio. Ancio able to convert on the reverse. And credit Henry Thingwall with that assist. And now Kevin Brown able to convert on that layup. Northwest just down by 20 now. No, excuse me, is that a 3-pointer?
It was a 3-pointer,
Kevin Brown, my apologies. Too busy looking at my stat sheet. And now Will Thingwall puts one up from the mid-range. That is no good. Rebounded by, well, it looks to be Hoover. Now Jeremiah Moore bringing it up for Northwest. And Jeremiah Moore kicks it back to Williams. Williams gets it to Hutton. And now Hutton guarded by Will Thingwall. Will be tripped up by Smits, and Smits is going to be called for the foul. That'll be Smits' first personal. Team foul number 4. And with 3:22 left to go, 4 team fouls isn't something that you're too worried about, but you want to make sure you don't get to that 7 foul marker and let Northwest get some easy points through the bonus. Now into the game for Northwest is Javon Glover. And great hustle play there by Will Thingwall. Will Thingwall gets the Ancio. Ancio going to be blocked at the rim by Hoover, and that will be called a foul. And Ancio will be heading to the free throw line for his first trip. For KMC 2 for 2 right now. Only person to go to the free throw line was Will Thingwall, and he converted both his free throws.
Yeah, amazing hustle there by Will Thingwall, diving on the floor. Those are those kind of hustle plays that Coach Eck is very happy to see.
Now Ancio, first free throw going to be good. Maxwell Keller checking in now for KMC. Isaac Smith heading to the bench. As Kevin Brown also returns from Northwest. Ancio able to convert on both his free throws. Kevin remains perfect from the stripe. Now Jeremiah Moore brings it up once again from Northwest. Moore going to put up a contested shot. That'll be no good. Air ball rebounded by Ancio. Great defense there by Maxwell Keller and Luke Porter. And now Henry Thingwall tries walk from the corner. That is good for 3. And the Thingwall brothers just lighting it up tonight as now Henry Thingwall with 14 and Will Thingwall with 10. And now Will Thingwall will pick up his first personal foul, team foul number 5. As now Hutton gets it into Williams, and Northwest with a chance to slow things down, reset a little bit. Now Williams gets it to Jeremiah Moore. Moore in trouble, loses it. Now double team finds Hutton. Ancio gets back in time for the block. And foul going to be called. That'll be on Luke Porter. Great defensive effort there by Will Ancio to get the block, but looks like Luke Porter might have just been wrong place, wrong time, picks up a foul.
Yeah, and that just goes along with the Crusaders' help there. I mean, all of them are in the paint, and Porter just there getting the foul.
And Hutton misses his first. As you know, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but now the Crusaders with 6 team fouls with just over 2:30 left to go in the first half. And again, you really want to be careful. Not let Northwest get those easy free points through the bonus. And now Moore with a steal will be fouled by Will Thingbaugh. And Jeremiah Moore will head to the line for 2. Northwest just 1 of 4 so far. So let's see if Moore can do something to change that, as now Northwest will be in the bonus as William Thingbaugh picks up his second personal foul, and that'll be team foul number 7 for KMC. Now Jeremiah Moore, first free throw going to be good. And Dominic Shibley going to come back in for Will Thingbaugh, trying to preserve him a little bit with him having 2 personal fouls. And now Maxwell Keller able to pick up his first rebound off a missed free throw from Jeremiah Moore. And now Luke Porter able to race by Jeremiah Moore, but now in trouble, gets it to Maxwell Keller. Maxwell Keller drives, kicks it to Henry Thingbaugh. Henry Thingbaugh with some shifting moves, gets it to Max Keller in the corner. Max Keller not able to get that one to go. Now Jeremiah Moore drives, puts up a shot, that'll be no good. Rebounded by Kevin Brown. Brown able to get that putback to go. And timeout going to be called by KMC. As now Kevin Brown has 7, leading his team in scoring. And now Jeremiah Moore kind of heating up. I mean, he only has 3 in the contest so far, 1 point in this quarter. But nevertheless, he looks to be a threat heading forward.
Yeah, and bit of a smaller lineup in right now, and so that could be part of it. But the Crusaders really need to make that adjustment, figure out that Kevin Brown is going to get rebounds. And, that wouldn't have happened if Kapaun just boxed out there. And so that's something, simple they just need to do.
And, as much as, Kapaun has, allowed Northwest to, put some points on the board, they've been putting just as many, if not more, points up than they have. As now Kapaun leads by 21. So, I mean, they led by 22 entering the second quarter, up by 21 now. I mean, it's not too big of a change, a differential of 1. Not something you can be too upset about. Now Luke Porter, guarded by Moore, races up the court, gets it to Maxwell Keller once again. Now Keller, this time gets it to Henry Thingbaugh. Henry Thingbaugh tries to get inside the Will Ancio, but Northwest trying to protect that interior as much as possible, keeping as many men home as they can. And now Henry Thingbaugh gets out of a double team, kicks it to Dominic Shibley. Dominic Shibley drives, gets free, puts up a layup. That is good. Shibley able to burst to the contact and get a layup. And now Will Ancio going to be called for his first personal foul. That will send Kevin Brown to the line for the second time. 0 of 2, his first trip.
And, Will Ancio with the foul there, but as some of you may have saw, Dominic Shibley sprinting back to make sure Brown didn't pass it out for an outlet. So good hustle there by Shibley.
And Nathan Thingbaugh coming in now for Will Ancio, trying to give him a little bit of a breather, as Kevin Brown misses his first. Now Kevin Brown misses his second as well. He's now Northwest just 2 of 6. 2 of 8.
8, yeah.
Apologies. Now Luke Porter gets it to Dominic Shibley. Northwest playing a lot tougher man, really following their men, and Dominic Shibley able to lose both their defenders and finds Henry Thingbaugh in the corner. And Henry Thingbaugh able to knock down his 3rd 3 of the game. As Jeremiah Moore gets it to Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown to Hutton. Hutton, step back 3. Nope, he's going to dump it off to Jeremiah Moore. Northwest looking to get this possession to be a good one, as this might be the last one of the half. Jeremiah Moore puts up a three. That is good. Put on top of the key. That gives Moore his first made three of the contest. 1 of 3 now. As Luke Porter races up the court. Still a lot of pressure coming from Jeremiah Moore and the Northwest defense. Now Luke Porter finds Maxwell Keller, but Maxwell Keller will dump it off to Shibley. Shibley drives and able to convert through even more contact. Shibley, does a great job to get that layup at the end of the half, but Shibley overall doing a great job of, not being afraid to, go in among the trees and knock down those layups when he's called upon.
He's definitely looking to score, and that's something that's great for the Crusaders, as you never know when those other guys aren't having the best game. So good job by Shibley there.
And that being said, that will end the first half. Score 47-22. Join us back in about 15-20 minutes, but we're going to step aside now and let the Kapaun Mt Carmel Pommies perform for your halftime entertainment. Hello and welcome back to the second half of basketball of Kapaun Mt Carmel versus Northwest. And we can get right back into it as Kapaun will have the ball first. And up by 25 coming into the second half. Really just looking to preserve this lead. And as we see it now, I mean, we usually see them coming out of gates really fast, really, trying to keep the pace of the game up. But looking to slow it down a little bit more and chew up some clock, get some good shots up. And there's one from Roy Antio, however, that's going to be off the mark. And that will give Northwest a chance for their first possession. Now, on the contrary, Northwest trying to go fast here. Swing pass after swing pass eventually ends up in the hands of Hutton before that goes off his hands and out of bounds.
Yeah, and, Gabe, as you were saying with Kapaun, trying to slow things down here. Also, an opportunity to look for things and, work on different types of offenses or just, little plays that work well for them and try to figure out what'll work good.
And Luke Porter's three-pointer will be off the mark there. As now Hutton will bring it up from Northwest, guarded by Henry Thingvall. And now Williams has it on the wing. Thinks about shooting a three and then kicks it out to Moore. Now to Hoover in the corner. Hoover for three. That is no good. Off the backboard, nothing else. Rebounded by Will Thingvall. Jump ball going to be called in favor of Northwest, so they will have another chance here. Still great play there by Will Thingvall to get that rebound. Not afraid to, dive to the floor. Maybe get a few scuff marks on his jersey. And now Hoover, layup going to be good. And the Crusaders looking to get something on the board. Haven't got any points here in the half yet. As Will Thingvall slows down a little bit, now drives, puts up a shot. That'll be no good off both irons. Front and back before heading out of bounds. That'll be off hands of Williams. As now the Crusaders will have a chance on the sideline. Luke Porter will inbound. Gets it into Will Thingvall. As now Smits finds Henry Thingvall. Now inside to Will Antio. Antio loses it. And then Henry Thingvall able to convert something out of nothing as he puts that up for two.
And Henry Thingvall now with 19 and just the start of the third quarter. So awesome game so far.
And of course, 9 of those points coming from the three-point arc, so he's been absolutely lethal from the perimeter this game. And now a Jeremiah Moore three-pointer off the mark as Luke Porter gets the rebound. As now Will Thingvall gets to Isaac Smits. Smits drives, layup going to be no good. However, he will be fouled and he'll head to the line for two. Be his first trip. As the first half, Crusaders went 4 of 4. So let's see if Smits can keep that perfection up.
Yeah, definitely better than their last game. I believe they were around 25%, 30% or so. So good job by the Crusaders there working on their free throws.
And first free throw miss for Kapaun Mt Carmel Crusaders. But regardless, a close one nonetheless. And Smith's able to convert on the second. Heading it away, that is Jeremiah Moore once again. Now back to Hutton. Now over the corner in Williams. And three-pointer off the mark once again. And now be off the hands of Will Thingvall and out of bounds. Unable to get that one. As we kind of notice there's sometimes, players, maybe look to where they're going to go before they, really get possession of that ball, and that's just what happened there. And Hutton able to convert on a good layup there through the contact. And that gives Hutton 5. And that cuts the Crusader lead just to 14. And so the Crusaders really trying to get something going on the offensive end of the court. Luke Porter gets it to Will Thingvall. Will Thingvall inside to Antio. Antio drives, will be tangled up. And we call for the travel. Trying to fight through some contact there. Maybe took one extra step in between his two layup steps. Now Williams bringing it up. And Sophia, we really see this Crusader defense trying to limit the amount of interior penetration, but Northwest doing a great job, trying to suck out one or two defenders and then finding an open lane as Hoover does there, and now Hoover draws the foul.
Yeah, you're right, and, the Grizzlies have been doing a great job so far this half, moving the ball really quickly around the perimeter, as you said, penetrating and then drawing some of the defense out, and so that's helped them, cut the lead a little bit.
As we will see those free throws when we return, as now Ancio will pick up his second personal foul, team foul number 1 for Kapaun Mt Carmel.
And excuse me, Gabe. Really fast, just like to shout out Jack Hirschbaum. Comes to watch all of our games, all levels, freshman through varsity, and so he's a great supporter of Kapaun Athletics, and so thank you, Jack.
There you go. Thank you, Mr. Jack. And all I was going to say is that, Kapaun takes their first timeout of the half. They'll have 3 remaining. It looks like Coach Eck going to stick with his starters here. And Northwest going to do the same, as Hoover will take 2 free throws. First one going to be off the mark. And, that timeout really gives Crusaders a chance to, regroup and hopefully, gather themselves and able to get something going on the offensive end, as Hoover goes 0 of 2 from the line. And now here come the Crusaders. Will Thingvall trying to lose Moore. Will be fouled. That'll be blocking foul called on Moore. That'll be Moore's first personal. It's almost surprising to see, as Moore's been a very physical defender so far here this game. So, it shows you how much of a skilled defender he really is, able to defend that well without picking up a foul. And now Henry Thingvall gets to Will Ancio on the inside, and that gets kicked back out and ends up in the hands of Luke Porter Luke Porter loses it. Now Jeremiah Moore heads the other direction with it for Northwest, and now Moore trying to reset a little bit, gets it to Hutton at the top of the key. And now Hutton gets it inside to Brown. Brown going to be deflected by Henry Thingvall. Henry Thingvall gets to Will Thingvall. Now Isaac Smits gets it to Luke Porter on the inside, and Isaac Smits is going to be credited with the assist there, as Luke Porter able to convert on the layup. And now Williams able to respond right away and gives Northwest a 3-pointer.
And Kapaun, as we've seen, off to a little bit of a slow start so far this half. I think it's just hard when you have such a big lead. Sometimes you start to get comfortable, and we see now in this past minute or so, they're kind of get out of that comfortability, and I don't think that's a word, but yeah,
that's a word. Comfortability is definitely
comfortability. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, and they're starting to play like they were in the first half.
And now Hutton unable to make that 3. Rebound goes to Will Ancio now. Henry Thingvall in the open court, able to knock down the left-handed layup. And now Northwest really trying to get something going on the offensive end. Not that they haven't so far here in the third quarter, but, Kapaun trying to wake up a little bit here and have converted on a basket on the last 3 of their possessions. Isaac Smith trying to pick up the charge, will not get the call, however. Moore is going to be able to knock down that layup. That gives him 8. And now Kapaun swung it down a little bit, trying to set up the offense. Luke Porter has it in the corner. Drives. Puts up a shot. That will be no good. Rebound goes to Williams. Now Williams heads the other way with it. Gets to Moore. Moore inside to Hoover. Beautiful pass there by Moore. Behind the head. And subs coming with the Northwest. It looks like Robbie James makes his return in favor of Hoover. Dominic Shibley coming in along with Corbin Johnson in favor of Isaac Smits and Luke Porter. And now Northwest still down by 23. Not exactly where we want to be, but still, maybe in this contest, as Ancio unable to convert on the layup, but he will head to the line for 2.
And Ancio being really aggressive so far, taking it, being powerful down low, as he does have some K-State football coaches here tonight coming out to support him.
And now Ancio, on his second trip to the charity stripe, will knock down his first. Now Ancio, second attempt going to be up and good. Kapaun now only missed one free throw so far in the contest as Ancio heads to the sideline in favor of Tegan Charles. You know, I mean, can't be complaining much when you're 7 from 8 from the free throw line. Now Jeremiah Moore gets to Kevin Brown, who is now back into the game. Now in trouble, Williams throws right into the hands of Tegan Charles, and Tegan Charles picks up his first steal of the second half. And Tegan Charles, of course, had a pretty big first quarter and was continuing that in the second quarter, but then picked up 3 early fouls when he had to hit the bench. But now a Dominic Shibley 3 puts the Crusaders up by 28. And here comes Northwest. Jeremiah Moore unable to knock down the runner, but Brown, Kevin Brown, there to get the putback to go. But as I was saying, Tegan Charles, you know, back into the game after, you know, having to be pulled due to foul trouble. I mean, what do you expect for him in the rest of the game?
I think, you know, obviously needs to be a little bit careful, try not to pick up any fouls, but that shouldn't stop him from being aggressive, you know. He shouldn't worry too much about those fouls, and he just needs to play his game, look to score. I mean, he really be a key contributor to the end of this game for Kapaun.
And after a missed Will Thingvall 3, Henry Thingvall there on the putback for his 23rd point of the evening. Now inside pass to Tegan Charles ends up in a missed layup. However, Charles is not going to get the rebound. That rebound is going to go to Jeremiah Moore. Now Moore slows it down a little bit here, gets it to James. James in the corner to Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown puts up a shot that will be blocked by Tegan Charles. Hitting it away is Henry Thingvall. Henry Thingvall puts up a shot that we know good, rebounded by Hutton. Now hitting it away is Hutton. In a back and forth contest, Hutton going to make an and one attempt as Corbin Johnson was trying to get the charge there. Maybe didn't get his feet down since he was moving. I don't know. I don't necessarily know. I mean, it looks like a pretty good attempt there for the charge.
Yeah,
but
just
call doesn't go his way, I guess.
Yeah, good hustle there. You know, Corbin Johnson, also another one of those guys along with Schmitz and Porter who not afraid to take those charges. And so, you know, despite that not going his way, great hustle play.
As looks like Hutton able to knock down that layup, as before that shot, Northwest was 20% on the night, now 3 of 11. As what looks to be Javon Glover checking back in for Northwest. And now Will Thingvall in trouble in the corner, finds it to Shibley, and now at the end of the half, Tegan Charles puts up a shot. That'll be no good. That'll end the third quarter, not the half. And Tegan Charles looking for yet another buzzer beater is unable to make that one. But nevertheless, Kapaun Mt Carmel will head into the final quarter of play up by 25. And Sophia, I mean, a lot of people came into this contest thinking there's going to be close, going to be a competitive game. And it just really hasn't. I mean, Kapaun has, really dominated from the opening tip-off up until this point. I mean, we saw Northwest, come out pretty strong in the second half, start of the second half, that is. But Kapaun has been right there with them and is doing a great job of, maintaining that lead and expanding on that.
Yeah, and Kapaun really making a statement, as Northwest is second in City League. Kapaun wants everyone to know in the league, everyone to know in the city area that, they're not going to stop. They're going to keep getting these big wins, and Coach Eck here wants people to know that he's here to win.
As Northwest will stick with the same lineup, with the exception of Hoover coming back on in favor of Jeremiah Moore. Kapaun, on the other hand, will have Dominic Shibley and Corbin Johnson in the backcourt. It looks like Nathan Thingvall in that small forward position, and Max Keller in at the power forward, and Tegan Charles rounding out the lineup at the center. As now Dominic Shibley gets to Nathan Thingwall. Nathan Thingwall finds Corbin Johnson. Corbin Johnson in trouble, gets back to Tegan Charles, excuse me. And now Dominic Shibley gets back to Corbin Johnson. And if you're Cape Mount Carmel, you're really just trying to slow it down a little bit here. Chew up as much time as possible every possession.
Yeah, and Capen with no starters in right now, letting these guys that come off the bench create some plays like right there with Charles.
Beautiful footwork there to hit that turnaround jumper in the paint. And that gives Charles 10. And now a pass from Takari Brown will head to nobody and out of bounds. But yet another turnover on Northwest. And here comes Corbin Johnson and the Crusaders. Now Dominic Shibley going to be pickpocketed. That ends up in the hands of Jeremiah Moore. Now Moore heading the other way with it. Williams passes back to Moore. Now Moore. Back to Williams. Williams from a deep three-point range. That will barely hit net before heading out of bounds. And if you're even trying to get back in this game, that's not the kind of shot you want to be taking.
Yeah, it's one of those shots where you think, there with Williams, he thinks he needs to make that, he needs to hit threes, but that's just not a good shot. They want good shots and making some plays.
So now Corbin Johnson gets it inside to Tegan Charles. Tegan Charles gets it back to Dominic Shibley. Dominic Shibley unable to convert on that layup. Looked good when it went off his hands, but it's going to be off the back iron. Ends up in the hands of Hoover, and now up to the court to Jeremiah Moore. Jeremiah Moore looks to be Williams in the corner. Williams drives, and that layup is going to be no good. Now ends up in the hands of Glover. Glover able to find Robbie James, and Robbie James able to drive and convert on the layup. Cape Mount Carmel will take a timeout here. They will have 2 remaining. And Coach Eck, you can't really be complaining all that much if you're him. Cape Mount Carmel has been playing absolutely tremendous in this game, and starting to let some scores come through now and again. But you also have to consider Northwest is playing a lot of their starters. Cape doesn't have a single starter on the floor right now.
Yeah, and I think that's something Coach Eck is definitely talking about right now. He wants to tell those guys coming off the bench, if you want more time, you got to be able to put up with, the starters with other teams and those key players. And so, Capen just trying to regroup here, figure out what they can do, kind of settle down. They don't need to be in a hurry or anything.
As Corbin Johnson will once again bring it up for KMC. Gets to Dominic Shibley. Eventually ends up in the hands of Maxwell Keller. Now Corbin Johnson finds Tegan Charles on the inside, and Charles is going to be tangled up, and that'll be a jump ball. And Northwest will have the possession, so we'll be heading the other way. And now here comes Jeremiah Moore. Now Jeremiah Moore drives, puts up a contested layup. That'll be no good. Gets his own rebound, however, and finds Hoover on the arc, and Hoover unable to knock down the 3. Jeremiah Moore gets another rebound, and now Williams puts up another deep 3. This time he makes it. And after a little bit of chaotic possession, Northwest gets 3 points. And Jeremiah Moore has his ankles broken there by the freshman Corbin Johnson. I don't want to be too disrespectful, but nice play by the freshman.
Yeah, and Capen student section letting Moore know that Corbin Johnson is indeed a freshman.
And Corbin Johnson gets another turnover off the hands of Jeremiah Moore. And it looks like charge going to be called. That'll be Tegan Charles' 4th personal foul. So he'll head to the bench. He has 8 points. So he's had a tremendous night offensively, but defensively, it's just the calls have not been going his way this evening. So he'll head to the bench, and it looks like some starters coming back onto the floor as Will Thingbaugh, Will Ancio, and Henry Thingbaugh coming back on for Kapaun Mt. Carmel. And Northwest now down by 27. No, excuse me.
22.
2.
22. So the same amount as at the end of the first quarter. So pretty even game since then.
And now Will Thingbaugh in trouble, gets to his spur, Henry Thingbaugh. Now Henry Thingbaugh working up court, puts it back into the hands of Will Thingbaugh before getting inside to Will Ancio. Excuse me, Corbin Johnson going to be credited with that assist as Will Thingbaugh did the hockey assist there through Corbin. And Ancio picks up his 12th point, and Johnson picks up his first assist. And now Ancio gets a rebound. And Ancio puts it into the basket there into the floor. And Kevin Brown's three-pointer going to be no good, and the rebound goes to Will Thingbaugh. And Henry Thingbaugh able to convert on the other end, and Kapaun Mt. Carmel just running away with this one, sorry. As now Henry Thingbaugh with 25 points, as I was going to say, but Corbin Johnson able to get the charge he wanted earlier in the game. And again, Corbin Johnson, on the stat sheet, hasn't put up a whole lot tonight, but he has been a crucial factor in this game so far.
Yeah, he's been playing great defense, great facilitator, and just a great guy to have on the court. And, his teammates trust him, and they know, even though he's a freshman, he's doing great things for the Crusaders.
And now Will Ancio and Henry Thingbaugh will head off the court in favor of Maxwell Keller and Bo Dalian. And now Corbin Johnson going to be guarded by Hoover. Johnson able to get by Hoover. And now Dominic Shibley gets it back to Bo Dalian. Now Maxwell Keller in trouble, guarded by Moore, finds Shibley in the corner. Back to Johnson. Johnson drives. Be fouled. That'll be team foul number 5. And that will be on Williams. Williams will pick up a second personal foul. Now some substitutions for Northwest. It looks like Kevin Brown, Jeremiah Moore, and Hutton going to head off in favor of Javon Glover, Takari Brown, and Robbie James. Now Max Keller tries his one from 3. That is good. As Keller gets his first made basket.
Good spot up 3 there by Max Keller. He's always been a shooter. Does a great job for the JV team, and I just remember, ever since I went to grade school with him, Max has always been a great three-point shooter.
Now great pass by Corbin Johnson, gets in the hands of Max Keller once again, and Johnson able to get the assist once again as Maxwell Keller able to convert on that contested layup. And now jump ball going to be called. As Sophia, Northwest was kind of known as a gritty defensive team, and Kapaun is at 76 points, about to break the 80-point barrier. So really impressive. This is the number 2 team playing the number 1 team, Kapaun Mt. Carmel. So the fact that Kapaun Mt. Carmel was able to win this easy is kind of shocking.
And it's just, Kapaun just starting to show their true potential, slowly every game getting better and better. And, when all the starters, the guys off the bench have a good game, it just shows how good they can be. And
Maxwell Keller nearly coming away with that block. May have touched his man a little bit there, but mostly ball there. Maybe not all ball, but mostly ball there. That will send Hoover to the line. And just a reminder, they are Northwest, that is shooting 3 of 12. 3 of 11. Now shooting 4 of 12. So 33%. Again, not exactly where you want to be. Hoover not able to convert on that second one. And Kapaun Mt. Carmel going to take a timeout. Somewhat surprising, up by 30 with 1:43 left to go in the game. Maybe just to make some substitutions.
It looks like it.
as it will not be a full timeout. As now a little bit of a lineup change as Dylan Hamilton and Brooks Powers will make up the backcourt. Looks like Bo Dalian and Nathan Dingwall going to make up the front court, and Kyle Kea, the freshman, going to be in at center. Northwest going to stay with a similar lineup. Looks like a lot of new faces, actually. As now here comes Northwest as Robbie James going to be dropping the layup as Nathan Dingwall hits him with the foul. And rest of the Northwest players, number 10 on your screen is Elijah Benning. Number 13 is Cecilia Thompson, star running back for the Northwest Grizzlies football team. Number 15 is Jace Glasper. And number 30 is William Calvert. Nathan Wagging and Paul Bloomer checking in now. No, excuse me. Just Nathan Wagging for the time being. Now Robbie James taking his time. Unable to hit the second.
And you know, one face we haven't seen in a while for the Crusaders is J.D. Short. He's been out with a concussion for a couple weeks now. We usually see him getting a little bit of time for the Crusaders, and so hopefully he's nearing the end of his recovery.
Bo Dalian finds Kalkea. Kalkea from the free throw line. That is no good. Rebound goes to Glasper. And now Glasper will bring up the court with 15, now 12 seconds left to go in the game. Now stolen by Dylan Hamilton. Dylan Hamilton on a breakaway. Puts up a shot. That'll be blocked. Puts up a pass from Nathan Wagging. No, puts up a, whatever. Nathan Wagging with the last second basket. Gets him 2 points. And that will end tonight's game. Final score 78-46. A great 32-point win for the Crusaders. And, I mean, Sophia, great night by Henry Dingwall. 25 points. I mean, there's not much more you can ask of a basketball player.
Yeah, and the Crusaders coming out strong. We've seen them struggle with that in, past games, but showing in this game when they come out strong, get that lead early, it really helps them sustain their success for the rest of the game. So great job by every player on the Crusaders.
And with that, we're going to sign off now. Final score 78-46. And join us next week as Kapaun will take on North High at home.
I believe, is that Friday?
No, it should be a Tuesday night game.
Tuesday?
And then the following week we should play Carroll at home on a Friday.
Maybe. I think the boys might have a tournament next weekend at El Dorado.
So actually, if you want to, you can join the KMC boys in El Dorado this Friday. They will be taking on Trinity Academy.
Sweet. So. Always a good game there. Well, I mean, last year, Kapaun did pretty well.
Anyway.
Well, yeah. I'm Sophia Jamino.
I'm Gabriel Bryanbach. Have a great evening.